always talking. Always talking shit show.
Yo,
What's good? What's good?
it's your boy Talkin.
It's your boy Akeem Sincere.
We're back in the studio with another episode of the Always Talking Shit Show.
You alright?
Yeah, I don't know why I
Good,
threw
my
extra
nigga?
shit in there.
That shit funny. What's poppin', man? Salutations, peace and love.
Shouldn't have fucking ate before.
Thank
the
God
show.
we in this bitch. You know what I mean?
That's what's popping.
Everybody's not here.
I shouldn't have ate before the show.
Yeah, well, that's a lesson we all gotta learn, my friend.
You don't fucking look.
Now you're dealing with that itis.
You gonna look over here? I'm gonna be over here like this.
I'm gonna just walk out.
I'm just gonna let the live stream keep running with me.
See how long it go.
And
like,
just
nigga.
let them look at me.
And then go get in the comments like, yo, look at this nigga. Like,
It's
you know,
gonna go until I wake up and fucking turn it off. So niggas gonna be just watching niggas just sleep, drooling on himself and shit.
all that.
That's gonna be fucked up. Cause I don't know what I look like sleeping. I might sleep wild as shit. I know I sleep with my eyes open a little bit.
Oh, that's hella crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's bugged out.
My brothers had like full on conversations with me thinking I was awake.
And you asleep.
Dead sleep.
That's crazy. That'll freak me out a little
Jalen
bit.
does that
That's just
shit
crazy.
too. If you ever catch Jalen when he's asleep, he does that shit. All my kids do actually. They all
Oh, I don't want to be asleep, but I am ass niggas, nigga.
military
Oh,
sleep.
Oh, I'm scared to miss out on something.
That's that military sleep.
Shit like that, one eye open.
Uh-huh.
Like, niggas still getting crept up on.
That's that major pain sleep. Remember, 'cause that nigga said his eyes were open.
That nigga Major Payne was like, he's wide open. I mean, it wasn't a game. It wasn't none of that. All right, man.
I just want to wake up.
All right. Well, why you do that, man? Like, what's 38? We 38? It's 38 special?
It's 38 special.
Episode 38 special.
That Saturday night special.
Hey, so, do you hear anything about Amazon and their fight against unionization?
Man, first of all, you done told me I'm like out of the loop.
Yeah, because you've been doing your other thing, man, so I feel you. Like, yeah, I get that.
You're like my source of like, well, you gotta think about it too. Is like I don't have cable. I only watch like streaming services, and I don't really like have
Nigga,
them.
Me too. I don't got.
Nah,
cable.
but I don't
Nigga,
have like
act
the.
don't play me like I'm some old nigga.
I don't have like the news ones and shit. I don't have. I'm not like subscribed to like most of the news channels and shit.
That Roku stick nigga do wonders.
You is an old nigga. You just ain't that old, nigga.
That's what I'm saying. Nigga. Even if nigga get old, I ain't outdated, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I keep up with the times. But as far as I was catching that cat, the OG Roland Martin, man, and they were talking about it.
You went from bumping the mic to just bumping the whole table now.
Well, nigga, don't even get me started.
No, you haven't scooted over.
I have scooted over, bro.
Did you?
That's the thing. I have. Nigga, while you was running out, look at my chair is. Like, I moved all this But nigga, I got the whole fucking port in front of my leg. Like I ain't got no. It's all good, bro. I
Oh,
don't even
I
want to talk
forgot
about it.
that
I ain't
bitch
even want to talk
is
about
done.
it, bro. Don't even trip. This shit is set up
I
for
still
your gaming.
I still think that we're using
Set up for
that
your gaming,
bitch up
nigga.
there.
I get it. And we don't even use this, and it's just still sitting there, just taking
I
a
gotta
hella
move.
roll.
No,
Like, come
because
on.
you know what I was supposed to do. I gotta ship it. I'm taking it to Reno. Somebody bought it, and they told me not to ship it. Just bring it with me. I was supposed to have been shipped it out. I got a box for it and everything, but they just told me to take the shit. You know what I'm saying? I figure if I move it from there, it's gonna end up on the floor somewhere.
No, I feel you.
Fucked
I
up
could dig
somewhere.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
I could dig it. I respect it.
But when I get back on, fuck, we're gonna have to miss Monday's show.
We'll talk about it later, bro. It's all good.
Tuesday.
Amazon.
Okay.
So I guess
Of course they're against unions. Why
They
the
happen
fuck
to-
would they not be?
they happen to have. I guess what they're being accused of is, you know, when they came out, it was real cute that we're for $15 an hour, so we're gonna charge. You know, we're gonna pay everyone that works for us $15 an hour. That's a living wage. What they don't tell you is in their field, in that industry of work,
$15 ain't shit.
the average person is making damn near 25, 30.
Yep.
Even in cities where the minimum wage is 8.
Niggas don't want to talk with them truck drivers for Amazon
You know what I'm
make a
saying?
year. They're like 6 figures.
And so they talk about the lack of breaks, the harsh conditions in which they work,
Yep.
the retaliative nature. Like
my bad.
they hired police in their headquarters. They got city police.
To add
Just
the metal detector so
just-
to make sure you're not taking
No,
shit.
they got city police just riding around the fucking company parking lot, intimidating people, nigga, to make sure they ain't trying to unionize or meet up.
Or let's talk
Shit like
about
that.
when COVID first jumped off. The fucking plant in New Jersey that they refused to shut down. Like 30 people were sick.
So they're
already.
estimating thousands of people have died working under Amazon's conditions during the COVID crisis. Because it was basically at this point your job or your sickness. I don't. It's something to think about. We tout Amazon.
Ain't shit. You already know how I feel about Jeff Bezos' bitch ass. You that rich and don't give a fuck about nobody that works for you.
Yeah, well,
They done made you the richest man on the fucking planet right now. Well, the richest known man. Because like we said, we know them sultans out there probably got trillions. We don't, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But, man, come on, bro. That's the thing is like you guys want the 1% to get their tax break so they don't outsource their businesses and all that shit. But the motherfuckers that own these businesses don't give a fuck about you who work for them niggas in the business. If it ain't for the workers or niggas driving and delivering this shit, there is no Amazon. That's what motherfuckers just don't realize. We make the niggas with the dream rich. We made him a fucking billionaire. 100, almost 200 times over. You think Bezos would be there if he had to deliver all that shit by himself?
that's not the question. The question is, you think a poor man would attain that in any other nation?
Nope. Yep.
In any other nation?
Like 3 or 4.
Name them.
No. You can do it in Asia. You can do it in Canada. You can do it in the UK.
So when you say that, you're talking about, bro. It's not a lot of new money in those places that you just named, and it's not a free enterprise.
Asia's probably the only one that has new money. You're right about
What
that.
nation is gonna let a fucking teenager create Facebook and get as powerful as he got?
Asia. That's the only one. You're right about all the other ones.
Hey, and I'm not
All the
speaking.
other ones
I'm not
got a
speaking for
parliament
Asia
and
because
shit.
it depends on where you are in Asia
you
and
gotta
what
be in,
family
like,
you come
you
from.
gotta be in like
and
Tokyo.
what clan you from. Like I'm
You
just
gotta
saying.
be in like Tokyo or like the booming cities. But you're right about
and-
the UK. They're still under
and-
under Queen rule. So
What I'm saying is, dog, like when you look at art, what other country is gonna what other country is gonna let you get all these tax subsidies for being a company, and then you take all the employment and go to somewhere else where you don't gotta pay people?
that I couldn't tell you because
That shit don't happen nowhere else.
I don't think any other country lets you outsource.
It
work
doesn't
like
happen
that.
nowhere else. No other country is gonna give you resources to employ people and allow you to employ people outside of that country.
Because I guarantee.
Let me finish. Only a racist country would do that. That's what it goes back to when we say, yeah, man, you might in some countries, yeah, you might grow up poor, but you're still a member of the country. They still look at you as a countryman. They don't, the fight isn't that you don't deserve to live on this earth. You know what I'm saying?
I guarantee you in Asia when they call AT&T, they don't talk to Indonesian people.
They don't talk to nobody but Asian people.
Right.
That's why any Asian corporation that comes here,
right,
it's mandated how many Asian employees they need to have at all times.
When we call AT&T,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
When we call AT&T, who we get?
Anybody that's not American.
And they have American ass names.
Hey, and the problem
I've been wanting to ask them, like, what's your real name?
That's not their real name. The problem is, but America's a racist country. So
right.
America also has a thing
you
that if you don't have a
right.
white drawl, they'll act like you're unprofessional and we don't understand what you're saying and all those type of things. Right. So, like, I get that. But back to that point, it's just like, man, when it goes back to this, and you check me if I'm wrong. Bro, when I was a teenager and a kid, I worked at McDonald's at like 13, and then like by the time I was 15 and a half-ish, my way over to Foot Locker, thought I was a little more fly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is
now.
I was a child. I think, you know how many 16 to 17, 15-year-old kids would love to just get paid $16 to $17 an hour to just be on the phone in cubicles with their friends and help people through their issues on their cell phone?
Well, keep it.
Hold on real quick. And help people through their issues on their cell phones. Help their grandparents with the issues navigating the computer and navigating the website. This is all these call centers do. And when you go and get someone that's out of the dialect, different drawl, different culture, on the other side of the country, don't give a flying fuck about you, has a stigma about Americans anyway, right? That's where you get the disconnect. When I was a teenager, I know that was a teenager's job, is to answer the phone and be like, oh, Mr. So-and-so, you want to click this button and do this, do that? But now you got motherfuckers that's 40 years old with kids, nigga, and a mortgage working there. That's why that's why you woke up today and was like, damn, what happened to customer service? That shit gone.
The crazy thing about that is, well, think about how crazy, like, that job making minimum wage, when you're 16, you're balling because of the simple fact you might be the only nigga out your clique with a job. You a nigga getting a check every week. It's livable to you at 16. You ain't got no bills.
That's what I'm saying. These are all, they got us living off childish wages, right? And wondering why motherfuckers why this generation economically is doing worse than the generation before.
You might have a car with insurance and gas, nigga.
That's what I had
and
when I was a
cell phone
teenager.
bill.
But we didn't even have phones like that. When I was a kid,
no.
When I was young, bro, coming up, all I needed to make sure I was fly, had gas money, and enough money to get in. Whatever in was.
Yep. And if you were cool, you might have extra cool, you had a pager.
And so, like,
or two ways. That was it for us.
The ideal that like a person could save. And so the last time I've ever been able to like get a paycheck and save a majority of that shit and not easily, when I think back, no, not even that. Like, even when I was a young adult, like young teenager with my own apartment, it was just like, bro, I still could like no more than a paycheck and like a half pay all my bills, and I still got a half a check to wiggle with. If I want to get some cakes, get some new Tim, something, whatever I need, right? I could stack a little bit of that and get some.
Can't do none of that shit.
But now, nigga, when I think about the like gaps and like the way this shit has happened now, it's just like when you start doing the numbers and it be like, man, you know how many people are making more money now being out of work, getting unemployment, than they were at their job that they was working damn near 50 hours a week?
Well, anybody who's working at McDonald's.
Damn near $50 a week.
Any fast food.
But that's just it, though. Right. Like, fast food is the go-to when you think about it. It's a whole bunch of fucking jobs, nigga, that ain't fast food that you still getting underpaid for.
Yeah.
But because it's not fast food, they'll give you a $2 difference, $3 difference, and now a motherfucker walking around town voting like a Republican because they make $19 an hour, nigga. And
or let's talk
13.
about, you know what's crazy? Let's talk about like not healthcare, like in-home care. A lot of these like.
Hold on. I don't want to stay off it. Go good on that, but I want to, because we're talking about the union discussion and why it's important to unionize. Good on the healthcare, because healthcare is on that. It goes right into it, is what I'm saying.
Like the OG over here that we both know, right? He does in-home healthcare for elderly. You know what she makes an hour?
Probably like. Well, I know how much he should make an hour.
Yeah. You know what she makes?
Probably like 11, 12.
14.
Yeah.
And he's like one of the head people who oversees like 4 or 5 houses.
I'm gonna show you what that is, my guy. Doc on. Everybody's hungry, nigga. Nobody ate in months.
Yeah.
And I got a little piece of meat for you right here. Hey, you know how? Hey, come over here and do all my heavy lifting for me. And now you get to look at the people in which you come from like you made it. Like I'm up.
Yep.
I'm the only one doing this. This is what they do to us.
But in the grand scheme, you ain't
know what I'm saying?
shit.
But in the grand scheme of things, nigga, like think about it, bro. We're America. $20 ain't that much money an hour. If you really break it down.
Let's be real. The average, let's be real. The average American couldn't even afford to feed their family on 1 hour of work. A meal for that day.
You can't afford to feed yourself, damn near.
You couldn't. You can get like a bag of chips, a drink.
Not a healthy lifestyle.
No, you would be fat, or over sodium. You would have so much sodium in your system. You would be.
Bro. They said Jeff Bezos and them had a woman that contracted COVID, and the deal that they made with all the people that contracted COVID, so they can make all that extra money while everybody was shut down. Oh, we'll give you. They need 4 weeks off to recover. Jeff Bezos, like Amazon, will cover the 2 weeks. You got to figure it out.
Right. Well, think about how crazy this shit is. Let's go back to like the fast food real quick. Let's break it down to like hourly.
That's all I was saying. Yeah.
And break it down to hourly. Fast food employees, 1 hour of work barely gets them a meal where they work at.
Yeah. But that's just it, Dre. The average person that works somewhere can't afford it. Motherfuckers that work at Top Golf only can afford to go Top Golfing all the time, nigga, because they got a discount, nigga, and work at Top Golf.
Because Top Golf is fucking expensive.
Think about it, fam. The motherfuckers that go to these nightclubs all the time, right?
Get in free. They don't have to pay.
Because I work there, I got a bouncer,
pay a cover.
something like that. Like, just think about, and we've gotten so distracted as Americans, we don't even talk about. We're so into our biases towards each other. We ain't even talking about the fact that there's not a member in Congress that damn near ain't a millionaire. Like, I think AOC is one of the poorest people, nigga, as an elected official in Washington. And she's not poor.
And she's probably worth like $600,000 to
right. She's
almost $1
right.
million.
And she has a Stanford. I think she went to Stanford or something like that. Harvard, NYU. She went to a top tier school, has top tier education, and she's a congresswoman. She should deserve to be well off.
Right.
But what I'm saying is like the fact that every person that voted for us not to get $15 an hour as a national minimum wage is worth millions of dollars, bro. Like, how do you justify that? And then you get one of them to try to justify it. We spoke about it. He brings up how back 30, 40 years ago, he only made $6, but just ignores inflation. Like milk cost the same it did when you were a fucking kid.
Ignores the fact that
milk going up?
$6 an hour back then is like fucking $30, $40 an hour now.
You can't tell me that it costs more to make a fruit roll up now than it did when we was kids.
Because they're always trying to find ways to make it cheaper. Right.
They always looking for something to cut.
Right. That should have been cut and cut and cut.
They cutting and raising the price.
Because I'm going to keep 100. I had Tori buy me a box of fruit roll-ups.
I've seen that. That probably was in my head.
They don't taste the same.
That's why I stopped eating fruit
They
roll-ups.
weren't gross. They're not like gross.
But they're not what you was eating.
You know, Gushers?
They still,
gross.
Yeah, it's all syrup and caramel. What is that shit?
High fructose.
Yeah, high fructose corn syrup.
Ooh, that shit made me get the chills for a second. The strawberry, oh my.
Nothing.
The strawberries was fire.
But look, all that shit was fire. Dog, remember when we was talking about Hawaiian Punch?
I got to water mine down. That shit got to be diluted. I damn near got to make 2 jugs of that shit, nigga.
I'm like, fam, what the fuck happened to the juice?
That shit ain't. You know what? On there, it don't even say from juice concentrate anymore.
They can't. Remember when KFC was just KFC instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Still just KFC.
Because it was like, yeah, this shit ain't enough chicken for the FDA to say, nigga, it's chicken no more. So
it's still
KFC we selling y'all.
It's still KFC.
Shit go right through you, man. You know.
Remember when churches used to have the oversized shit, and you'd be like, "Come on, bro."
No chicken is that big.
That means that chicken was like,
fam. Fam. And so look, if a place like Amazon is made to allow their employees to unionize, what does that do for Google? What does that do for other places? And let me not misspeak. I'm not 100% sure if Google's unionized workplace.
Do you know what? Hold on, let me
But
say this real quick before you go. We were talking about Google because there's a difference between Bezos and Google. Every Google employee is a millionaire.
I've heard that. I've heard that every Google person is employee is a millionaire, based on if they sold out their stocks that they got, or for I get you. I get
No,
get
they're
that.
either a millionaire by selling off their stocks, or they're a millionaire in stocks right now, and they're just letting it chill.
Right.
Is what I mean. They have means. Their owner gave them means to if anything goes wrong.
And thank you for that distinction.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to just lump them all together.
Yeah,
and it's
nah,
important.
Google and Microsoft
it's
care
important
about
that we
their
stop
employees.
doing that in society, fam. Like I hear so many cats that's not politically astute, and they be like, "Oh, all the motherfuckers lie. They all the same."
No, they're
and
not.
I be like, "Wait, fam, okay."
Everybody lies to
Everybody
an extent.
lies,
Let's
so I
keep
get
that
it.
real,
Okay, so
bro.
let's kick that out to the right. But I'm like, when you start saying they're all the same, bro, name the group of 7 white liberals that conspired to use their authority and their majority to give people that they decided deserves it the biggest tax cuts that we've ever seen. Or name the group of all white male liberals that had a meeting and decided what women should do with their bodies. With not one fucking woman in the room. They're not all the same. You know what I'm saying? They're not all the same.
No, not at all.
And we got to start looking and respecting the nuance in between the different parties.
Like I said, Microsoft and Google are way different as corporations than fucking Amazon is.
Right.
Their employees are fucking rich.
Hey, fam, shout out to my ex-girlfriend Tiffany Green. Her dad worked high up in Microsoft back in the 90s.
And is rich.
And dog, this nigga was using technology that we got today back then.
All right. And think about how much stock he has from when it was like pennies and shit.
Yeah, man. He ain't like me that much, man, but he was rich. He was rich.
You know what I'm saying? Like they treat their employees like fucking humans, not fucking slaves. You know, you loosely use that. Nah, nigga, Jeff Bezos is a slave owner, nigga.
Like the way he definitely
he runs his shit as a plantation, nigga.
He definitely has
I don't think I'm using it loosely with him.
He has
loosely, I
used,
mean.
No, I get what you're saying.
He's straight.
He's definitely used those aggressive type tactics to maximize profit without truly sharing that profit with his employees.
Because tell me that's not some.
I'm sure the board members get.
Tell me that's not some slave shit. Oh yeah, I'll cover you for 2 weeks. After that, you better have your ass back on that field.
See, the thing is, unfortunately, it is. You're right. You're right. But unfortunately, that's also some American shit. Like, we the only major country nigga that's charging you motherfuckers to have babies.
Oh, don't get me started.
Think about the shit that puts Americans in debt.
That shit you said with Michael Moore, Michael Moore, that shit was hilarious.
Right.
He said, "We don't live in America." You and it's like as Americans, bro, that don't hurt your feelings that we're just laughed at like that,
mine.
Right?
I was like, damn, bro, like that, and you could tell dude wasn't even being sinister when he said it. He wasn't even shit. He wasn't anti-American. He was just saying. He looked at him and he's like,
America, bro.
Charge. He's like, we just had a baby. What do you mean the bill? There's no bill for having a baby. Like, he just looked at him. He's like, this isn't America.
That's so terrible.
So the rest of the world knows that.
Yeah, they know how terrible.
But you know, you got those pompous Americans that'll tell you they ain't never left their home state. They ain't never been. They haven't been to all the cities in their home state. And these motherfuckers will look you in the eye and be like, "This is the greatest country on earth. There's no place better. You ain't been nowhere.
I can't even believe that.
You haven't been nowhere, fam. You know,
there's beautiful places in America. That's for sure.
The ideal of America is great.
Right.
The thought of what America could be is great. And let's face it, if America was just going to be an all-white utopia the way they set it out to be, then yes, it would have been a great idea. It would have been great. But unfortunately, this was never their country to call America.
Let's keep it 100. If Americans...
it was people like us and our ancestors and Native Americans and what we call Mexicans today that were already over here.
Can we keep this 100? If it was just white Americans here, y'all probably would have been invaded and all types of shit by now.
This
nigga.
shit would
y'all
be Poland.
would have been soft.
This shit would be Poland.
I think they'd have been soft, bro.
It would be Poland. What would be the difference? You just be Poland.
I think what give. No, here's my thing. You know why I think they'd be soft? What has America built themselves on?
Don't be a fool. They wouldn't be soft.
No.
America
I would say
was
that
founded by killers.
No, I would say they would be soft for this reason. They built themselves off bringing people over or conquering the people here and then bringing more people and putting their foots on their neck and flexing. I
But
feel like if you took that flex from them,
I feel
they
what you're
wouldn't
saying.
feel as strong.
I feel what you're saying, but I don't want to use that word soft dealing with mass murderers. Dealing with people that have the ability to rape your wife, impregnate her, and sell that baby, or to take your son from you and your wife and sell him to a friend. And what are you talking like? I'm not gonna call somebody soft that tarred and feathered people and cut their dicks off and pickled them and put them in the storefront. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that's why I said it. Cause I'm like, let's not use soft, cause then people will get it fucked up with what we talking about. When we say soft, nigga, black people are soft in America because nigga they only hurt each other and they don't fuck with nobody else collectively. Like show me the racist group of black people that's out to just kill white people.
Right.
Show me the racist group. Just show me that.
Oh, you know who they would tell you it is? The
Nation of
Panthers
Islam,
or the Islam.
But I'm saying like, but there's
That's
no
what they tell
there's
you
no
it is.
documentation of that shit.
No, not at all. But that's
Nigga, the
what
Nation of Islam don't got one body.
That's
They don't got no bodies,
That's that
nigga.
hate mongering and fear mongering
So-
shit that Americans love to do.
And it's like, who's the poster child for drug dealing? It's
White folks.
niggas that look like me and you.
Oh yeah.
That they never owned a boat.
Yeah.
There's never been to a drug company that's just where it's legal to grow poppy seeds.
Ain't never been to Colombia.
We have no diplomatic immunity that would allow us to fly a plane in the country with kilos and kilos of illegal substance. How is that shit getting here? And it's the age-old question. We know how it got here.
There's a whole.
But we
movie
still
about
sit
that.
there and be like, damn, we know how I got here. It's still here, but oh well, it's here now. We've accepted it.
Yeah.
It was Republican leaders telling us that just 7-8 months ago that COVID is gonna be here to stay. We just got to get used to it. You just got to deal with it. It's gonna be something we always got to deal with, like AIDS and cancer. No. And what we have to get in our heads as a nation is that if the worst of us is getting if we raise the ceiling floor for the worst of us, our whole nation prospers. Yeah. Like if there are like right now, AOC was saying, you know, with the HR1 voting bill, and the what is it, the back to work, Build Back Better plan. On the Build Back Better plan, AOC and it was talking about that Biden is pushing. AOC's wing of the Democratic Party, they gangster.
Yeah.
They like, nah, fuck that. That ain't enough money.
Yeah.
Stop being nice to the Republicans. Stop being nice to conservatives that
we're
don't
not
want to
here
hear
be
big
nice to
numbers.
these bitch-ass
We have like let the ceiling floor drop for so many Americans unbecoming of them, not because of their lack of work effort, not because of their lack of dignity, just because of the way the system was rigged against them. We've created so much American-created poverty that they're talking about spending $40 billion of that plan, of a $2 to $3 trillion plan. $40 billion of it is allocated to fixing ghettos and like projects and shit like that. And what AOC had to explain, and if you're from New York like myself originally, you'll understand this. If you're from Detroit originally, like Doc On is, you'll understand this. Yo, it'll take $40 billion just to fix all the projects in New York. Mm-hmm. The fuck you gonna do about, nigga, the Eastern Seaboard and the Midwest? And by the time you get to Detroit and Chicago and shit like that, you ain't gonna have no money.
Right.
We need about $1 trillion just for this project. But the Democrats, they want to slow step it because their friends on the other side of the aisle, when they hear $1 trillion just for poor black people and poor brown people, they know they're gonna flip out. And it's kind of like an apologetic approach. And we need some motherfuckers in there. That's why diversity is important. We need people in there that's not apologetic in speaking up for poor people. That's not apologetic in speaking up for the Latin community that has had their land taken from them and then called an immigrant.
Do you know how I feel about it?
Or the black community that had their land taken from them and then called African and said that your people just came here from slavery. Yeah, some of us did, but not all of us. Mm-hmm. And so like when the people that experience these things, when they have the knowledge of these things, and then the people that don't experience it are unwilling to be educated about. Dog, do you know how unwilling most white people are to ever accept the fact that a lot of black people's ancestors were here way before their slave trading ancestors got here?
Right.
Because it means that a lot of lies have been told to them.
That means they're the true immigrants.
They're the newest immigrant in America.
Right.
By race.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if our ancestors was here and it's been proven and they migrated from Africa, so Africans was already in Americas. That's been proven. Right? They found Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon.
Right.
So, if we know the history of Asian Americans, how they migrated over a long time ago, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have what we call Mexicans today that was in the North Americas, right? And out throughout the Americas. Like, who made South America and North America? Who decided that? And when was it decided? You get what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. And so, like, because of that, you have a group of people that have that inherent knowledge. And then you have the other people that are just going off of what the slave masters put in books. Mm-hmm. Who's more educated, right?
Right.
And that's where we are today. And I think that is crazy because when I start seeing all this, like, new flux of diversity in our elected circles, that's why reparations is starting to come up in a serious way for the first time. That's why land treaty acts and re-representing those relationships from government to indigenous people are starting to come up again, because you have people that are from these communities that are now congressmen, senators, and so forth. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just one of them things that, like, it's a slow stir, but we stirring the pot. We're stirring the pot.
My bad, Joe. Y'all gotta see my undies.
Do your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get it how you live. We record tonight, you know, like on a late night tonight, because life happens. You know, while I got the mic and we just talking our shit, when my man get right, I want to send a warm and special condolences to my brother Dexter Thomas. I'm sorry, my nigga DT, too. And I'll give it to you, fam. After what I heard you say today at your mother's service, you are the rawest man on God's earth. It's funny, I wish I'd have knew you why you said that back when we was in college. I wouldn't have denied it. But I love you, man. Rest in peace, Mama Thomas. And, man, peace and love to the family. Condolences to everyone that's hearing my voice right now.
Is DT related to MT? I'm back.
But we'll keep it.
Fuck, dude. Do not fucking eat.
We'll keep it here.
Lame ass fast food.
And I'm saying,
Just
I'm
like,
not saying your boy, not you, Dre. Y'all boy, Congressman Matt Gaetz, the biggest bro congressman ever. What would I say? The biggest cheerleader and champion of Donald Trump in the Congress has just been brought up on an investigation. He's just been, he's not just been anything. He's being investigated for sex trafficking of a minor.
Oh shit!
Turns out that he has another friend that has a small position that oversees taxes, the tax codes and stuff like that in the state of Florida. It turns out that these are two privileged rich white kids that has always gotten away with things, and they have a criminal vibe to them. So it turns out that they've been passing them back and forth this 17-year-old minor for sex and lewd acts, and an investigation by the federal government has ensued, and that's where we stand. Hopefully, first off, we want to send well wishes out to the young lady, right? And any other child that's been sex trafficked. But it's something that we need to pay attention to. New media might not be all over it. I know a couple stories have popped up, but we're gonna be on it. Or old media, I should say.
I don't understand. What is it with you old niggas
Hey, he's not even. He's older than her. He's like older than us, but he's like a young, in terms of politics, he's like a young
I don't.
congressman.
How much older than her is he?
Oh, he's definitely like at least in his 40s. You feel me? And she was like 17 at the time. I think she's like 18, 19 now, because they've had this investigation going. But it came out today that William Barr, the Attorney General for Trump, that we all know was probably one of the worst Attorney Generals we've ever had, he purposely would not go around or not be seen publicly with Congressman Matt Gaetz because he had been fully briefed as the head of the American judicial system, if you would, or law enforcement, if you would. He was briefed on it, and so to not force his hand to have to act on it, he would find out from Trump if he's going to be at the event, and then he just not come.
Do you find it weird that Trump is so aligned with so many fucking pedophiles?
Yeah, bro. No. You know why? Because
not weird, but do you find it's not coincidental anymore?
Being from New York, everybody I've talked to in my family,
right?
No one in my family has ever let me champion this man. See, I watched him on Home Alone and was like, oh, that's that really rich white dude. That's cool. Right. Or I would see him write the foreword in Shaq's first autobiography and think, oh shit, that's dope. Like he's trying to help young black people eat. Like, and he's a rich white dude. He's cool. But it'll be my uncle or a cousin or somebody in my family be like, you know who that is? You know what his family does? Like represents
so many people close to him and like people in his cabinet. There's a lot of them going down for like sex trafficking or pedophilia or sexual harassment or sexual assault or like, come on, man.
Something.
It's just like people. I'm straight.
Get a little sugar in you.
No.
Pause.
If I do that, my stomach gonna start hurting. It's strange that y'all motherfuckers are so against pedophiles, but you elected a nigga in almost a whole cabinet of motherfuckers who are pedophiles, bruh. Right.
That are accusing, like, I don't know,
Joe Biden being a fucking child molester,
of running a child sex ring, and the Obamas and people like that. It's like, fam.
Or there's the QAnon people who are trying to say that Obama was with Jeffrey Epstein and them. When there's no documentation, when we got pictures of your mans,
we've never even seen a picture of them.
When we got a picture of your mans,
several
with
of
this
them.
nigga Epstein hella times, and documentation that these niggas are best of friends.
Mad video too, and they're in the act. Like we got pictures of these motherfuckers in a nightclub where they're the only two men. There's a video. It was like on that documentary on Netflix. It's an old video where they were being interviewed by like a media outlet. These motherfuckers had rented out the nightclub. It was like Trump, Epstein, and two other old white men, and like 20 fucking young women in there.
Right.
Just dancing and drinking and shit. And they was just about to have their pickings. And you know what it is. So.
That's why we need to get rid of old politics. A lot of these niggas is fucking creeps. Documented creeps. And these motherfuckers still get elected and elected and elected and elected and elected and elected. And it's just, how you keep electing motherfuckers that if they had the chance would be fucking on your daughters, your little daughters and shit.
My thing is
passing them all around they rich friends and shit.
Some of this pedophilia like culture and underworld, I think they're so sick. Because bro, if you talk to let's get serious about it. You just got into some real shit. If you talk to a real hard pimp from the 70s,
he wanted a young one.
No, like they have daughters and shit that they've had with several women that they've encouraged to get into the life.
Yep.
Like I heard Bishop Don Juan talk about his kids, nigga, like that's all in the life, nigga. Like his daughters that be hoeing and his sons that be pimping, and he was like proud of them. And so sometimes this hereditary sickness is real. You know what I mean? Like you see your dad do certain things and it's normalized and he's an empowered person. That might not even be your natural personality, but you just might go do it because you think that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
There's men that hit their wives because their mother was always hit by their dad, and they think that that's how you make a woman love them.
Right.
It's just about having those conversations, like, you know what I mean? Even, and this was like in the 90s when the interview happened, but and maybe we had context and hindsight on our side, but I'm watching it getting squeamish like, ugh. Nigga, this whole shit look creepy. And them women look mad young.
Yeah.
Especially when you're thinking about every man in the room is fully gray. Like, not like me with some grays coming, like the time is coming, like fully gray.
Yeah.
So it just was a thing. Like, it was something, it's a sight to see. And that's a great observation on your point. I don't know what, I mean, I've made the observation. I've seen on certain news outlets bring that up. Certain news journalists bring that up. But here we go. You know, this man is walking around kissing babies.
You guys vote niggas in the power that'll toss your daughter around to him and all his little white buddies.
Right. And the thing is, bro, let's not even put it to race. Like you said, like his sick buddies. Because everybody that was on Jeffstein Island, nigga, wasn't a white man.
Right, yeah.
There was a lot of prominent, well-to-do black people there too.
Mm-hmm.
And this shit is sick, man, and faulty is faulty. Something to keep an eye on.
Nah,
the other guy's name.
Nah, you know what niggas need to keep an eye on is the reason that the fact that ain't nothing hell. We ain't heard shit about
Gazelle.
Yeah.
Like she just tried to get another. She just tried to get bail again. They denied that shit. She's gonna be the fall person.
Bitch, just put it out.
She's the fall person.
Just put it out.
Just tell us what happened.
And they will let you out of prison.
That's what you don't understand about America. If you go turn right now you might get your ass murked because the people that you turn into are controlled by the very people you turning on.
It doesn't matter if. Here's the thing. If you have evidence,
she got
like
a
you
6'9"
say,
that
if
thing.
you have evidence, like you say, you have evidence, you'll force the American people to be like, if I don't condemn them, I'm a fucking pedophile.
But and here that might be the play, but it takes time.
Yeah,
it
because
takes
you think about it, if they're gonna be uncomfortable in that conversation, if they're like, you defend it anyway, they're gonna be like, oh, so you agree with pedophilia and pedophile shit?
Right.
Then that's what. Then niggas, oh, no, yeah, that's a that's
slippery
a slippery slope, nigga.
Slippery slope.
Because
You know
how
what I'm
you
saying?
answer that question, niggas gonna look at you funny.
And this the thing though, fam. If we being real, you're asking her to share sensitive information pre-trial to the authorities that literally take their cues from the very men and women that you will be showing them pictures of.
Because I guarantee there's police chiefs, governors, mayors.
I was about to say, fuck a police chief. Police chief ain't power. You can't
They don't
come in
make
here.
enough money.
Nigga, you ain't in here. You might be at the gate making sure nigga ain't nothing. Actually, the police chief might get to go off in there after a while. His men is holding the shit down or something like. You know what I mean?
You have to be a police chief for like 20 years.
Hold on, police chief in certain communities.
Right.
Nigga, don't give a fuck about the North Las Vegas police chief. But
Right.
Like, you know what I'm
right.
saying? But Beverly Hills,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? I feel you.
They do
Hamptons and shit, nigga. Like yeah, I get you.
Where the police chief making $350 a year?
Like $3 million.
Do they make like that, police
Bruh,
chief? I don't know
look
shit
it up.
about police.
Look it up. Them cats
I know
getting money.
It's public record. I know
Yeah.
I can.
But
Well, yeah, that makes sense because the LAPD gets what, like $1.7 billion a year in government fucking funds.
no, when they're talking about defunding the police,
Yeah.
they did the math on LAPD. LAPD got like about 6.8 billion a year, nigga, in just funding, nigga. Like here, do what you want with that. Do whatever you know. Keep those people in check.
You don't need.
Go police those people.
You don't need a quarter of that.
You don't need a quarter of that, dog.
To keep your police funded and in the best cars and in all the best shit.
It's crazy, right?
No, it just
Yeah, I
sounds
know. That's the
very-
sad part.
It
Is
just sounds very
yeah,
American
right. The sad
to me.
thing is, it's not crazy. But we briefly touched on it. I just want to jump to it real quick. That back to the Matt Gaetz situation. The other gentleman involved in that, his name is Joel Greenberg, and they're both tied up into a sex trafficking situation with at the time 17-year-old woman. So we'll see what's going on with that. We'll keep our eyes on that. The HR1. I know a lot of people are hearing about it. It's a voting bill that, when polled, one of the top polling companies didn't get asked to do this work by the Democrats or the Republicans or Congress. He was basically paid by a group of the richest Americans, and they were trying to gauge which way they can attack this voting bill. Because what it does is not so much about assuring black people's rights to votes and women's rights to votes once and for all.
Mm-hmm.
and ending voter suppression laws, but it literally wipes billionaires out of the equation.
Right.
And so they pulled Republicans from the racist, most conservative, redneck Republicans all the way down to the most liberal, you know what I'm saying, black with green hair and tattoos on their face Democrat.
Right.
And when he came back, the meeting, some of the audio from the meeting leaked, and that's how we're talking about it. When it came back, the dude that got paid all this money, the company and shit, like you telling your bosses basically like, nigga, you pay me all this money, but y'all basically gonna have to fire me because
You
the
don't
people
you ain't gonna like what
you
I
don't
have to
need
tell
me
you.
because the shit that you're trying to get me to do, we can't do because even the people that y'all got in y'all pocket, known as Republican voters,
They don't like it. They don't like the
over like 80% of them don't want billionaires deciding the election. No American does. That's not a billionaire, and most billionaires don't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fam, you really think Jay-Z is out there like trying to sway an election somewhere?
No.
I mean, maybe for the good, like he'll go vote for Obama or some shit like that, like national politics. But I really just think I don't think that, like, even like a Oprah,
Right.
bro. I don't think Oprah's paying any politicians to do any negative doing on her behalf.
Right.
I just think that some people don't even think like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we was talking about those cops that got caught up in that little email chain where they was trying to start a race war.
Yeah.
One of the things that keep haunting me about what one of the guys said, it was like, yeah, when we do this to these black people, it's gonna affect them for generations to come. And I thought to myself, how much do you not like me to hate my kids that ain't even here yet?
Over skin.
Like,
over
and
my
then I
skin
thought to
color.
myself, hey, Doc, like, when's the last time you got so mad at a nigga or anybody like this? You got so mad that you wished harm, like even a nigga that you wanted to fight. I'm gonna kill this nigga, Akeem. You never said nothing about his kids. Like
I never say anything about his kids.
I'm just thinking about, like, you know how much kind of hatred that is, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's sometimes the kind of hate you're dealing with. Like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's some motherfuckers, bro, if a bug walks past them, they're going to step on it. They could be outside. They could be at the park. They could be in the middle of the woods. If they see something living that they can kill, they'll kill it.
You know it's fucked up. I'm
What?
that dude.
Hey, you know what's not fucked up?
But, you know, I'm not that dude anymore. I was when I was, like, younger.
See, no, but then you were just young.
Yeah.
And you were a boy. And young boys do shit
No,
like
I mean,
that.
like, even teenager type shit.
I'm just saying.
Now I'm not that. I'll step around bugs and shit. I'm
well,
not just gonna.
I mean, a bug in your home and shit like that, you have
I'm
at
talking
it.
about outside.
Right.
Like
But
walking. Because I think about this. I'm like,
my
how
grandfather,
the fuck would I feel if, like, if there was a real God in the sky, he could just come down and just one time and it's a wrap.
Hey, peep this.
That's fucked up.
That's just it. That's where a lot of, like, people, and especially a lot of atheists get it wrong. Sometimes a lot of religious people get it wrong. Hey, the being that we refer to as God is much bigger than being in the sky. And I'm not taking that to what you just said. I'm just throwing that out there because that reminded me. But what I was really trying to say is that I was chilling one day, and it was something simple. It was like a little ass bug. I was talking to my grandfather. He's washing his car, and I'll never forget. He had the Saab thing back in the day, and I'm chilling, man, watching him do his thing, and I stepped on a bug, and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, grandson, if he can't live there, where does he live at?"
All right.
And I was a kid, but I got it. Like, it made sense to me. Like, damn, like that, he wasn't at the kitchen table. He wasn't in my bed or that motherfucker.
He might have been at his kitchen table.
I just caught a body.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
might have
for
been
no
at his
reason.
kitchen table.
Like, what's
You trying to find some food for his
what the
family.
fuck he do to me?
Just out here working normal shit.
He coming home to his people, nigga. And I just got an Air Force One in them death. Nigga, like, yeah.
He might have been on his way to the house right now.
But then it's the thing though, and we was talking about that, and he was like, yeah, and that's the thing though. He said, but you don't go to the backyard, cause he had a swamp in his backyard, nigga, and there used to be snakes big as my leg. I got chased by a snake one time, or at least I felt like I did. I never went back to my grandpa's backyard. Like, nigga, I'm straight.
He's like, you don't go over there trying to kill them.
Right, and it hit me. At the time, I was a young dude. If a big dog came running down the street, I ain't gonna get a chance. I ain't gonna give it a chance to see if it's a sweetheart. Now we grown. You look at things different. Like, there's only certain type of dogs you're gonna just take off running from. Like, that shit gotta be foaming at the mouth and looking mad aggressive. But if you see a straight pit, it ain't like when you was 12.
Yeah.
Remember, we used to think that shit was like the Taliban,
Well,
nigga.
we
When we
know-
seen it, like, oh shit, it's a
Yeah,
dog.
we're older and we know how to read their body language
Right.
too.
That's what I'm saying. That's
We
my
know-
main point.
we know
That's
what
my
it look
main
like.
point. Yeah.
We know that tail wagging. That's
He that motherfucker just lost, probably.
Yeah,
Like,
he trying to get pet real quick.
yeah, he trying to figure it out.
Right. You can always also tell by the owner.
Or you can be like, that dog's not even bothering us. It's walking
Yeah.
that way. But I remember it was a time, growing up, you kid,
I
you see a
walk
dog.
all the way that way.
You
nigga.
see a dog, nigga, you're running. Oh shit, nigga, we can't go this way.
Right.
Yeah, we can't go to the store right now.
You can always, even like, just thought some random shit. You always tell by the owner. If the owner's not like, hey, you know it's a good dog. Like, if the owner just lets the dog run up on you,
Right.
That person knows.
He ain't about to do nothing to you.
About to happen
yeah, he's
right
not
now.
about to
He
do
about
nothing to
run
those
up,
people.
lick you,
Right.
play
That's a
with
fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
a fact.
Zero's like that. He runs up.
And you know that as you get older.
Zero's like that. He see a kid, he darting at that motherfucker.
Right.
But I know what he's finna do. He ain't finna bite nobody. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He finna go play. He sees kids. That's his thing. Like, he love little kids, nigga. So he gonna go full speed. But that kid might not realize that. It's
Right.
just a dog full speed jetting at your ass.
Right, half your size.
Right.
So, like, the main thing about it that people are touting, fam, this is a pull all the cards. Everybody pushing they decks in the middle of the table. That's what I'm noticing. This new wave of Democrats that have power are doing. And I don't want to sound like we just waving the Democratic flag over here. All these motherfuckers can get it when they get out of line with the American people. But what I'm starting to peep is like, you're going to make it to whereas we're going to know the names of the elected officials that said, no, I don't want to stop billionaires from running the elections.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because you're getting paid for billion. Oh, okay, we know who you work for now. Now we get it, Joe Manchin, why you don't want everybody to get $15.
See you later.
And I used to wonder that when I was younger, like, why do they argue about people on the news as elected officials? Like, you don't know who you're arguing about. Won't y'all just say names?
Right.
So then I can go Google them and know, oh, that motherfucker's foul. Right? And it's starting to become more of that. I'm appreciative of that. But, like, everybody check out the H.R. 1 voting bill. See how you like it. I think that if you see and pay attention to what they did in Georgia and Arizona, because people don't talk about it because it's only 4% black people in Arizona, but they implemented the same laws in Arizona. And don't forget, he got Arizona too.
Yeah.
That's them blatantly saying, oh, you motherfuckers want to go out and vote?
You want to do what your fucking rights tell
We
you
will
to
make
do?
sure next time your votes don't matter.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, my friend, last year around during the voting time, after the election, you got on the mic and was like, yo, that whole your vote don't count shit is dead.
Yeah.
Look what they're doing.
They're trying to take
Look what
your
they're doing
rights,
because
yeah,
cats
bro.
went out and voted. Fam, they're making it illegal for you to get handed some water while you wait to go vote for 6 hours in a place like Las Vegas or Arizona. Shit, or anywhere. Anywhere where it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And we need to really pay attention. Like,
I've been quiet this whole time, so I really don't have nothing else to say. These motherfuckers that y'all voted into power. Y'all, but not y'all, but.
what is the thing? That's true and it's not true. Because a lot of people, I think what's happening right now on both sides, the Republican Party, in my opinion, is just behind a little bit. But when you see the young Republicans, like the young people that got elected into Congress and shit, that was like, man, Donald Trump incited this insurrection. It's this young dude from Texas. I think he's like, man, I lost everything. My family, my friends. He said he got a letter from a group of family and friends and a minister of his church disowning him and saying that nigga
Don't come to the church.
he
no
disappointed Jesus. And he was saying that. And I looked into this guy, and I don't remember his name, and I apologize for that because I should say his
more.
name.
Disappointed.
But I looked
Jesus.
into it, man, and you know what's funny? He said, I used to think like that until I got to college.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of those kids that maybe left his hometown area and went to college and was receptive to what he learned and took that back home. Like, yo, nigga, the world's not like people think here. And everybody that with a brain that's not biased knows that this dude is directly responsible for the spirit of the people that did this. Like, how do we not correlate the two? And I felt bad for him. I was like, damn, this cat just said. I had to rewind. I'm like, did he just say his friends and family don't talk to him no more because of this?
Yeah.
And the letter was like, oh man, we believed in you. Like, they were disappointed. So these conversations got to be had, man. But one of the things I thought was interesting, that's why I brought it up, is that when they got caught trying to do some of their dirt, but they can't even find a group of people to say that they support it. Like, oh, we're doing this for y'all.
Yeah.
Everybody, from the most racist person to the most sexist, homophobic person to the blackest to the whitest to the foreignest, it's just like, yeah, you know what? America would be better if billionaires couldn't buy politicians.
Yep.
So we got to pay attention to who's an opponent of this. And then those people, you know what you got to do. If they're from your state,
2 years.
they got to get up out of here in 2 years. You don't want, if you think it's okay for Coca-Cola to buy 5 senators for $20-30 million to make sure that they can always put a deadly substance in their drink, we don't need you. That's just an example. Shout out. I'm not saying Coca-Cola was one of those people. But actually, speaking of Coca-Cola, that was a good segue.
Fuck did they do?
Well, upon pressure, it started to me with Arthur. Was it Arthur Blank? The individual for the owner of the Falcons. Maybe the Hawks too. Shit, I don't know.
I think he is.
Okay, yeah, he got bread.
I think he's one of those.
He's like, and I think he's
like every team.
I think, and he's like the founder of Home Depot or something like that.
I know he's something dumb.
Right.
Like
Arthur Blank, the motherfucker got money, right?
like
well,
Cuban rich.
He does the cowardly thing, even though what he did was the right thing. It still was cowardly in the eyes to black people, because here it is, we do all we do for this country and all we've done for this country.
Yep, co-founder of Home Depot.
Okay,
right about
and co-founder of Home Depot, owner of the Falcons, maybe even the Hawks, comes out after one of the most racist and suppressive series of voter suppression laws to be passed and pushed through by basically a neo-Nazi group of white people in the state of Georgia. He knew it was wrong, just like everybody knew it was wrong when it was going on. But this got passed, and he waits till after it was passed to come out and make a formal statement of how wrong it is and condemning it. But then it was too late. And so what sparked up on the internet, and I'm sure was already in the workings behind the scenes with the people that do this for a living, but people started to say, hey, man, damn, you're like a day late and a dollar short, Duke. Like, why didn't you say nothing? Like, you're a powerful person in that community, in that state. You pay a lot of taxes. Like, I'm sure you support a lot of politicians. Why didn't you speak for us then? And then the idea came, well, wait a minute. What other corporations are housed in Georgia? Mm-hmm. Maybe black people, since you don't think we should be able to vote in this fucking country, Coca-Cola, maybe we should stop drinking Coke.
Do you know what's so crazy is when they signed that bill, like I saw like the newscast of it, they looked like they were signing one of the most greatest monumental bills ever. Like
they
just
were
the
for
people.
Them.
I'm just it just is so crazy to me. Like that's like that's your bar is
right. That's what you're trying to do out here.
That's your bar. That's monumental to you. Is any way that you could hold niggas down or people of color down or women down or homosexuals
just being
down or
any other.
Like, yeah, other.
And fam, so it's just, and then you see the people that's around there celebrating. It's like no diversity. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just when you see that, and then you see, like, thank God for the internet, man. We wouldn't be having a George Floyd situation if it wasn't for the internet. Thank God for the internet, man, because it got word that, you know what, that is kind of foul. Mm-hmm. Fuck Coca-Cola. Fuck these other places. And so
Coca-Cola was it for the bill?
Well, no, it's not. That's the thing. It's not that they were for or against, but what we know is all these major corporations, in order to be housed in the state, you got to pay off the motherfucking state legislator. You got to pay off the mayor. You got to pay off the governor, and you know what I'm saying? Like you do business with them to have, and
You got to grease a lot of
and
palms.
business was good enough to where you were gonna say, you said, okay, one of the biggest American entities ever, we're gonna house it here. That means you got a lot of power in that state.
Right.
You got a lot of black employees.
A lot.
And billions of black people drink your product. You market your product more in the black community than anywhere else. Because most communities ain't going to let you just oversaturate their market with soda. Right? So they started to think, they got smart, and they said, and I don't want to pick on Coca-Cola. I just remembered it, but I left the list that I had at home, and I don't feel like looking it up. People can do that on their own. But every major corporation, because they're all the same in this regard, that is housed in Georgia, the people via the internet and the activists on the ground started to go after them and say, hey, black people spend more money in this country than anybody.
Right.
And make the least. You do not want them to get upset with you and say, okay, well, Coca-Cola don't want black people to vote.
Cancel culture.
Peep this. Watch Coca-Cola commercials, dog, in the 90s, 80s, 60s, and then watch them post, nigga, the hip-hop boom. You would think a black dude in hip-hop made Coca-Cola. They always got some rap shit nigga on in the background.
You know what Coca-Cola don't want the hip hop and black community
same thing with
to
Sprite, because that's a Coke product.
Do you know what they don't want? Do you know what they don't want to happen?
What?
They don't want Jay-Z to say boycott Coke and Jay-Z make a fucking pop, nigga.
Fam.
You saw what he did to Cristal, nigga.
Fam. And hold on. It's like niggas like Master P and other people like that already have sodas.
Yeah.
Don't
let
want
him get that
niggas to be
endorsement.
like, yeah, hey, man, matter of fact, go get that Master P pop, nigga.
Don't let him get that Hove endorsement from somebody. It's over.
And you know the shit keeps picking it up, nigga. Like, it's only going to take a matter of time before one of those type of iconic black people is going to be like, yo.
Let's buy Coca-Cola.
Shit, because it could be LeBron or Cap.
Or just a collective.
Right. You don't want
Diddy, LeBron.
You don't want LeBron to wake up and be like, you know what?
I want to own Coke.
I don't think I want to endorse. Write me out of those Sprite commercials.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm doing that.
Let me buy myself out of that contract.
I don't think I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm re-signing with y'all. And so there's a lot more power in this country, and the brutality against black people isn't so much accepted in the mainstream as it used to be. To whereas that I think people, not only black people, white people too, that are well-to-do people are starting to say, hey, you know what? We don't have corporations, but we got each other, and this internet shit kind of takes up for that. Look what we did with GameStop.
Yep.
If we decide like to get Coke's attention,
we'll short them.
And now kudos to Coca-Cola because they came out. We're against this bill. The bill's already being sued and all this other stuff, so it looks like it's gonna be something that could possibly be repealed. But it's gonna take.
I can't believe they had the fucking
unmitigated
gall to even sign that bill.
Right, the new idea
that it was even possible and even a fucking option for them to even propose that bill.
Right. Piggybacking off what you're saying, the idea that hey, Nike, hey, like we was talking about Adidas, hey, Polo, hey, all these other big corporations here that make trillions of dollars off black people. What if you stood with us in our oppression? You think we buy Nike? Look, Nike found that out. Let them be the poster child. Yeah. You thought Negroes wore Nike?
And look what they did when they signed Cap.
Look at their numbers after Cap.
Yep.
There's parents now that, trust me, that was making their kids do extra shit to get some new Nikes, and boy, you ain't gonna wear no Nikes. You don't need that. You get that when you get a job.
Yep.
That went and bought their kids Nike after they did what they did with Colin Kaepernick. It's okay for major corporations to stand for something morally as well. But for so long, they've sat on the sidelines. And what backfired on Coca-Cola is the internet realized, like, wait a minute, wasn't y'all inspirational in getting LBGT rights?
Yep.
So what, are you pinning us against each other? Do you not want us to have rights too? And so now that conversation comes up, and then kudos to Coca-Cola because their think tank probably got together and was like, yo, we didn't think about this, but look, they got a point. We got to stand with the people. You see what happened with Nike. Because you come out and do what you're supposed to do, black people is loyal, man. That would be you don't want black people you want black people to deem your product black people shit.
Exactly. Yep.
Do you know what like corporations that nobody I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, Dre? Like there's certain shit that you find in black people's houses.
Yep.
That's black people shit.
Lowry seasoning salt.
And Lowry's made a gazillion dollars, never gave a fuck about a Negro, never stood for nothing about a Negro. I've never seen Lowry's at any of my white friends' house.
Nope.
But that is a staple in every Negro's house.
Crystal hot sauce.
Come on, fam. In every Negro's house.
Stop, hold on. Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid old black people for sure.
Bro.
Black people and Kool-Aid got so popping together that Kool-Aid made its way to the suburbs.
You know what I'm saying,
remember suburban people was like, oh, that's bad for your kids to drink. Like, you shouldn't drink it. It dies your stomach. Like, come on, fam. Nigga. Come on. There's certain shit, dog. There's certain shit that this company, this America, has only made to exploit black people, and we've been cool with it because we fuck with the product for whatever reason, right. Whether it's just branding or just something that we have been stoled upon. But there's no loyal customer in America more so than the African American customer. And corporations, you learn this in business school, fam. I'm not talking nothing crazy. There's been books written about this. They know Microsoft, corporations, Google, they know that. Why do you think all these games that do dances that little poor black kids in the ghetto make? You don't think that they're looking out for that?
Hold on, I'm about to say another one too. Nigga. If it wasn't for black people, mane and tail wouldn't even be a motherfucking business. Because ain't nobody doing that washing their horses in mane and tail.
Peep this, though. Peep this. Peep this. As soon as you said that.
Think about that mane and tail, bro. That shit was for horses.
I'll be honest with you.
Oh, man.
America today, y'all gonna get black people they do. Because, nigga, I'm not being racist at all. But you can't tell me right now in North Las Vegas that every Mexican family that owns a Mexican restaurant is not seeing, I would say, just to be nice, at least 48% of their revenue from black people. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me every Oriental family in every major city in this country that sells Negro hair products that they can't use and their kids can't use on their hair is not making a lot of money off of solely black people. And with that being said, what dollar do you spend with black people?
They buy Jordans. They spend a select few.
And that's what I'm saying. And there's nothing wrong with it. This is an honest economic conversation. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong or right about it. It's just something that we as a people, as a collective, have to understand. So when there's black people that are like, yo, man, this shit is still fucked up, and you're like, no, it's so much better, you have to think about what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. You want us to celebrate Independence Day while we literally were slaves while y'all was celebrating. Yeah. Like, the very victory that got y'all's independence solidified our encaption here, our incarceration here. And I don't think I've ever heard a white person say that. And I've never had a teacher teach me Frederick Douglass's famous speech when all these so-called white people that were good to do and like, oh, we're happy, we're good people, wanted him that, oh, we're going to have this famous Negro speak to prove to ourselves that we're good people. He did one of the bravest things a Negro could do. He stood in front of a crowd of thousands of white people and told them how they mistreated people that looked like him. And he was telling them, like, while you're all jovial, what do I have to celebrate?
All right.
The average white person, until a Negro was murdered on national TV, didn't even take the time to know, oh, black people celebrate when we gave them their freedom?
Right.
Fam, you never went to school and had a white teacher during Black History Month really go into details and teach you about Juneteenth?
Nope.
Or Kwanzaa?
Nope.
They don't know about that shit. And so it's just a thing. It's something that the inclusion conversation just continues from there, man. You know what I
We
mean?
were never meant to be included.
And that's why it's a difficult task. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to rewrite textbooks that were never meant to include us in the first place. That's why we got about 10 pages in every one.
And that's why that fix it, that the and when we speak about these things, we're talking about an ideal. I think there's black-white supremacists.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what? There's black-white supremacists that go by certain gang names. There's black-white supremacists that serve in Congress and in the state senate and in police forces, right? So it's not a black-white thing when I say what I'm about to say, but the white supremacist of America is literally at a reckoning, like with itself. You know what I mean? And fortunately for us, unfortunately for them, they're not reproducing their idealism at a rapid enough pace. You know what I mean? So that the white supremacists of America are breeding non-white supremacists every day. And it's just something that we got to always be like mindful of when we have these conversations, because by us being passionate the way we are, we two lions up here. I mean, we could sound away.
Yeah.
We're not angry. We're not upset at any people or persons. We're just trying to combat ignorance.
I
You
can't
know what I mean?
go as far as what you just said. I am angry.
Well,
I'm not angry at any certain
And that's
person,
why I said what I said.
but I'm angry.
No, the reason why I said what I said, I said is because
There's a lot of shit I'm angry about.
the thing
in this
is
fucking
like
country.
people sometimes like lack the depth of your words when they conceive it to be in anger.
Right.
That's why I said that, because right now as you speak on this microphone, we're passionate men, we're lions. That don't necessarily mean that you're sitting here in this moment upset about the things we're talking about.
Right.
These are things that we've dealt with as young men and getting older our whole lives. Some things we couldn't make sense of, but now we have a platform, and now we're a free platform, right? We're not contracted to anybody anymore. We can say what the fuck we want to say,
Right.
and have the subject matters and topics we want to have that we feel suffice. So we killing that, you know what I mean? And as far as the first off, this is the evil spirit of like the negative of the world. Because we just talked about this for a minute, and then it just dawned on me, like, again, I go back to this at times. Fam, this voting law makes sense because for the first time you have a group of politicians that said, hey, if you want to do a voting law, if you want to reconstruct the way voting is in this country, it's already the greatest single thing in democracy. Or it's the greatest single voting way of any free world in the country, of any free country in the world. But if you want to build upon that, let's make it even better so where billionaires can't come in and take it from the average person. Let's get rid of that stupid electoral college that y'all put in to make sure white supremacy always reign clear. Because you'll think that California, New York, Michigan, places like that would have more to say if we're just doing an electoral college. Like, you look at where that shit be at, like the places like, fam, ain't no black people over there. Ain't no minorities and shit like that. It's a reason why Iowa has its statehood and Washington, D.C. don't.
Right.
There's way more people in Washington, D.C. than in Iowa. Or Maine. Or Delaware.
Idaho.
You know what I'm saying? Idaho. So it goes on and on. Like, but these are things that as we recognize them and as we bring light to them, we're not wrong for having the conversation. But unfortunately, what you guys got to understand is me and Doc, we got to have these conversations, and some of y'all ain't ready to hear them. And so we become the asshole. We become the bad guy.
I've always been an asshole and the bad guy.
And that's why this shit worked out for us. That's why the universe put us in these seats, because it's like, oh, y'all can handle that.
Yeah, I've been that.
You know what I'm saying?
Many times. Nobody ever wants to hear what they need to hear. Everybody wants to hear what they want to hear.
We ain't got it for you, my nigga. We ain't got it
Sometimes we might tell you sometimes what you need to hear is what you want to hear. Very rarely, though.
That's a fact. That's a fucking fact.
Very rarely.
We could, what was I gonna say? As far as just some of those little topics that I want to run through, I'm finito with that. We could we had Deshaun Watson situation, and then if you wanted to jump,
God
and
damn,
then if you wanted to jump into the Migos situation.
What is with all right, black people, black entertainers,
Black male entertainers.
black male entertainers,
Black females don't be getting in no trouble, nigga.
black male athletes. There's a lot of alleged shit going down with y'all right now. I'm gonna need y'all to stop giving them any type of ammo to allegedly charge you with some shit. Like, stop. If a bitch even hints at she's saying no, leave.
Yeah.
Run.
Young woman.
Matter of fact, run. The fuck? If she hints at she ain't giving you no pussy, run.
But see, this is the thing too, though.
Nigga, stop.
And this is where we gotta be patient and wait for this Deshaun Watson shit because
That's
just
why I said
because
all
we
this shit's alleged right
I'm
now.
not talking to you.
Bro, yeah.
Just because we like Deshaun Watson, I'm speaking for myself. Just because I respect the young man, he's appeared to be up to this point. I enjoy his ability to play football when I did watch football still.
Right.
What I also got to do, just like we can't rush to defend him, we can't rush to condemn him.
Yeah.
We also can't rush to defend him.
Not at all.
But sometimes, man, shit comes up, and fam, it just don't feel right.
Right.
And we have these like moments in history that teach us that, like, yo, sometimes the shit didn't feel right, nigga, because it wasn't right. Right? And I get scared. I'd be like, damn, like, I got to see how this play out. But where I say the fear comes in is like I'm always passionate about defending those that need defense and that are being wronged, especially if you're from a tribe, right? But you don't want to jump that.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to jump that gun. And so now you're stuck on a sideline. You can't defend nobody. You can't defend those women. You can't really defend this guy. But we don't live in that society.
Right.
The women, and I don't want to sound like that guy, but the victim, the alleged victim, whether it's woman or female, is always going to be perceived as just that. And when you're perceived as the victim, even though we're supposed to be waiting to see if you're actually the victim, you still get some victimhood. So the woman that jumps out the porch and was like, oh, you're going to marry her and you don't fuck with me no more? You're not going to pay my rent at this condo no more? You're not going to let me drive this car you lease me no more? Oh, the last time I had sex with him, I didn't want to. He's kind of rapey. I'm not saying these women, but we know that this type of shit happens.
But they're saying, like, this motherfucker been emailing them about trying to pay motherfuckers off. All types of shit, bro.
Hey, listen to me.
I'm like, God damn.
Like I said, the statement I'm just making right now isn't correlated to him. What I'm saying is that if you're going to be, because there's people that are subjected to these things, we say innocent until proven guilty. Yeah. So we say these women are alleged victims, but we treat them like victims just in case.
Yep.
And then even when it comes out that they were not victims, they were the perpetrator, or they were, they still benefit from wait. They still benefit from some victimhood. And just real quick, remember that game we play where I come up to you in front of somebody that don't really know you and lie to you, like, bro, remember when we had the orgy with those midgets? And then when you start denying it, I start laughing because at least
worse and worse.
At least two people out of that 10 people that heard me say that
are believing what's
it's gonna be like, that nigga really did that shit. Look how guilty he was looking when he said it.
So here's my thing about there needs to be fucking accountability on both sides.
That's all I'm saying.
Because we had that talk about the dude from Baylor. Chick said they fucking raped her.
Yeah.
Fucked his whole college career off. Fucked his draft day off. Might have fucked off his whole chance to ever be in there. They're trying to get him in the NFL. May have fucked up, and we're talking somebody who would have went probably number one pick.
I know, that's the thing. That sucks is they can't get you in the NFL.
Well, you can get a tryout.
That's a tryout.
Yeah,
while
like
you've been sitting in prison for 4 or 5 years, not lifting.
No. He was one of the ones that was able to get bail. He got to fight it on the outside, so he's been training this whole time. He's in
perfect.
NFL shape.
Okay, perfect.
So when he
All
goes
right.
to try
I'm glad
out,
you said that.
yeah, no,
'Cause
no,
you
no,
get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, damn, bro.
no. He was one of the very few lucky ones.
Fam, you know how
that
pissed
got
off
to
I would
fight
be
it from the outside.
if I got a phone call right now from an agent was like, "Yo, we got to try out with you right now for the."
I'm over here 45 pounds
Fam.
overweight. I ain't ran
I
or
blow
lifted
tree
no
all
weights.
day. Like, now I'm still gonna go, nigga, because I need them. I need them socks, nigga, and a little gear or something, nigga. I need some. You know what I'm saying? But nigga,
Or
like,
you might do well enough to where they're like, we're gonna get you in shape.
I'm gonna
and
throw
you
some
got a
shit at
spot.
the wall, nigga. You never know. But you know how fucked up that is, though.
But no, what's so fucked up about that is like
It's like if they told Cap right now,
I
you can
fought
play
this
back
the
in
whole
league.
time for it to finally come out that somebody got her on tape admitting that this never happened, and nothing happened to this
her,
woman.
Dog.
That's what got him off. Somebody came forward and said this woman had told me that he never raped her or anything.
So now peep this. Peep this, fam. That person is a fucking hero and a saint. But peep this. This is the thing. That's my point. She still, even through all this, you know how many people that don't know that his shit got thrown? He'll be in the NFL catching footballs and a motherfucker will be yelling at him, no means no.
Yep.
Because in their mind, exactly.
Had
Fam, because in their mind, oh, the only reason why you really got off and the reason why this happened and the reason why you're not in prison is because you play football.
Yep.
Like, it's because you're good at football. And so it's just like, man, I know what this feels like. So I'm biased when I be like, everything about Deshaun Watson, and I know what a sociopath is. So I'm not defending him.
Right.
But even this conversation, because I got women in my life and I respect women and it's women that I invite to listen to this podcast, I still feel like I got to defend my point because it's so sensitive that one word is like, oh, King, damn, son, you out here defending rapists? Because if I be like, yo, he's always been a good guy, and I just don't believe his personality to be someone to do all these things,
Right.
and then it comes out that nigga, he actually did all these things, niggas gonna clip my voice up.
Well,
nigga,
let's be
and it'll
real
be a
about
wrap.
let's be real about how loose the term sexual assault is.
Nigga,
We could be in a club.
Pause.
we
We
could-
sexually assaulted each other, nigga, just scooting close. Nigga,
Right.
in here.
We could be in the club, right?
On the lower end.
And I brush by the cocktail waitress. My arm does this on her boob. I'm rich and famous. I just sexually assaulted her.
Fam, you gotta run that.
And then she comes out and says that 13 other women who I might have accidentally did the same exact thing to. Oh, he did that to me. Oh, shit, VIP did that to me.
But this where it gets dangerous even then. 13 of the women that you did that is gonna come. But then, nigga, the 3 bitches that you actually slapped on the ass before,
They ain't going to say nothing.
they not gonna let these bitches get paid and not say
Oh,
nothing.
no, actually, yeah, I forgot.
Fuck
Yeah,
you
they're
mean?
coming out.
They gonna look at this shit and be like, wait, what?
He just brushed up against y'all.
I mean, I used to fuck him in college. He smacked me on my fat ass all the time when in public. Hey, I got witnesses. I got a video of him slapping my ass.
Everybody
Hey, hold on. That nigga Dre cool, but that nigga, man, he don't fuck with me. This is my come up. This is my bag.
Yep.
Fam,
Slippery slope.
I'm not defending anybody.
Like I said, but it's a slippery
But I was the nigga in the room
slope.
who was watching the R. Kelly doc. I was like, yo. I was really doing the math. I was like, well, those 2 women, they said that he was messing with them over the last 4 or 5 years. I'm doing the math. I'm like, but she's like in her 40s. I thought this was about him being a serial pedophile with just all these minor girls. Like, and there was one Latin girl on there.
Mm-hmm.
And she was telling her story. And she was grown. And the thing is, she wasn't a minor when they met. He was just disrespectful to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he would make her give her, like, fellatio or something like that in the car while they driving to the club with his friend still in the car. But then because I have sisters, bro, I'd be like, what do you mean he made you? Like, did he grab your neck and was like, Did he put fear in your heart to make you feel like if you didn't do it, something was going to happen? As a brother, I'm like, yo, I need to know, because I need to know if this is something that my sister has gotten herself into,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can just help her get herself out of that. Like, no, you don't. This ain't, or is this something that she's being manipulated or abused into? And that is a very thin fucking line.
Right.
And when you singing on stage, and every time a bitch sees you on TV, or a woman sees you on TV, just because of what we talking about, and you're looking your best, you're looking the best Drake can look every time she see you.
Right.
It goes back to what I was saying when it's like, damn, niggas got to start paying attention to their aura. Deshaun Watson might not have been, and in Texas, playing football in Texas and being a quarterback is like being the starting point guard in Brooklyn. In New York City. It's like playing for the Knicks, nigga. And people outside of the city don't understand that. But, like you said, it goes back to, I'm having these masseuse and massage therapists come. They're private contractors. They're coming on their own. Like, I'm hitting them up on the gram. Now, this is where it gets dangerous. Because Deshaun Watson, if you're looking at them on the gram and it's all this situation, I'm pretty sure these are some good-looking women that you're finding. I'm pretty sure. You're not finding just the best female massage therapist in your era.
You're not getting Helga, the big
right.
Swedish
right,
masseuse
bro.
who's the best in the
and
fucking
that's part
county.
of the problem, too. So like you said, it needs to be accountability on both sides. But we've created a gotcha culture where it's like, oh, got him.
Yeah.
Like, and now, I always have a problem when it's just like, bro, like, one, and let's get off of women for a minute. You telling me that, like, one guy got into a situation at the job and felt like he was discriminated on because he was a man. Right? And then, we never heard of this. Bro, it don't even work. I have to keep it to women. It doesn't even work when I'm talking to women because men aren't protected in that way.
Right.
Like, they're just not in society. Like, so in that way, and it's not a he versus she situation.
We look
it's
like
just
punks if we ever say
we're all
getting
protected in
molested
different
and
ways.
all
Yeah,
types of shit
yeah. Because even
by
in
a
today's
woman.
day, where nobody on national TV, nobody will actually come out and call you a punk for it because we're so PC. That's how they're gonna treat you.
Yep.
Like, what do you mean, Beyonce? What do you mean when you was working the light court as an engineer on Beyonce's stage set while she was rehearsing, she accidentally touched your genitals?
Nigga,
hold on, look.
That's what they gonna say.
She may have or may not have, because this is the way the allegations a lot of comes. Well, Dre, I mean, he may have done it intentionally or may not have. I really can't tell, but I just felt really uncomfortable. Right now, now take that and make that Beyonce, and you're just a nigga running the lights, nigga, so that the shit smoke up when she do her little dance, and she's rehearsing, and she come back and she's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Dre?" And she's like, "Hey," and she goes, and she might touch you on an accident, fam.
Even if she did it on purpose,
there's never gonna be a situation where, oh, Beyonce groped a man in the elevator. Where now you can call up and be like, hey, yo, and I'll give you a real life situation. Cardi B admitted to drugging niggas and having her transvestite friends fuck them in the ass and all type of shit while they was passed out. While they robbed them.
I'm going to keep it 100.
Hold on, wait. While they robbed them. I'll get this off real quick. Several men in the New York tri-state area come out and was like, yo, I'm one of them men, nigga.
Yep, nothing happened. Nothing came of none of that.
Fam.
She didn't pay nobody off, no settlements, no.
Next thing you know, nigga.
Hey, but I'm gonna keep it I'm gonna keep it so $2 million. Beyonce ain't the finest end all be.
She one of them to me. Go ahead.
No, she's fine.
Yeah, you're right. We don't need
but
to
I
get
don't.
on that.
I don't hold her to that.
Let's get on that. Go ahead.
She's fine.
Get your point.
Don't get it twisted.
Don't get us canceled either, nigga. It's this shit called the Beehive, nigga. You watch your motherfucking mouth.
I got a Beehive. She fine.
Thank you.
Don't get it twisted.
All right.
I just don't have her on the like how Rihanna's your one. Beyonce's just not my one like she would be for other men.
Well, Beyonce's not my one no more,
no,
man.
I'm not saying you personally.
I can't. It's disrespectful. She fuck with Hov.
But
like,
that body and her skin complexion, bro.
Golden, sun kissed.
Dog. like Beyonce, Beehive, all y'all fans, she the one. Some of the most
and you know what I think,
caramelly.
You know what I think makes her a lot real sexy too. Makes her different. Her ambiance is that she's talented.
her skin. This is getting off top. I'll get to my
Right,
topic
yeah,
in a
that's
second,
for sure.
but
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
her skin just look like it's sweet. Even
It does.
Even on a non.
Nigga, Beyonce
like,
smell like honey or something.
It seems like
that,
even when
don't
she wake up,
just
she
smell like
just
honey.
tastes
Like,
sweet. Like
it
it's
just,
right.
I feel you. I feel you, my nigga. I feel
like,
you.
she may not be like. There's just certain things about her just are. It ain't just her face.
No,
that
I
make
get what
her
you're trying
sexy,
to say. No, I
bro.
get what
Like,
you're saying. I get what you're
Jesus.
saying overall.
Like,
yeah,
nigga, her skin just look like you.
Like in a world of just most beautiful women ever, she stands out for other ways.
Than
Other
just
ways
her.
of just beautiful.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Her like.
No, I get that.
I haven't seen a skin tone on a woman like
Nah,
Beyonce's.
bro.
To me, it just has me.
That should be
Her
funny.
skin tone just look. It's just.
They do.
Like it's just painted. Like somebody just mixed the most
Right.
beautiful colors together
you
and got
not
that
real.
shit
Like,
right.
yeah.
But no, because here's the thing. Like with Beyonce, like
You know why? You know why I think that is, real
huh?
quick? This is me being this boy brain, nigga. This guy brain just thinking. Fam, Beyonce comes from a little bit of dough. She wasn't a rich kid.
Right,
But she
right.
came from a little bit of dough.
Right.
And her mom was a cosmetologist, which means I know her hair, nails, and like
Her
all that shit
skin,
was good,
everything.
taken care of.
Right.
And then she kind of like became Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like, when has she not had like the bombest manicurist, like, or the skin doctor? Like, think
Like, I'm
about
gonna
it.
keep this 100. I'm not a foot man. But
Right.
I probably suck her toes.
Right, bro. Because you know the
ain't
groom.
no probably about
Because you know the groom, like
Yeah.
like the
There
man.
ain't no
Them
nigga,
shits is soft and
nigga, I would
ain't
taste.
a callus on that motherfucker.
I would taste every piece of Beyonce.
I could, as you should.
I would.
You'll be a damn fool to get the opportunity and not to,
I'm tasting every.
bro.
I'm gonna taste
to
her
get the
elbows,
to
nigga.
get the opportunity and not. Man,
She gonna think I'm weird.
kissing
Cause
her
I'm
behind
about
her
to
knees,
right.
nigga,
She
all
gonna-
kind of weird. Like, why he kiss me there? Like,
Or she gonna feel like that nigga took care of me. That nigga done touched everything. But nah, it's like but the slippery slope is like what makes it. They would look as like sissies because you can't as a man come out like that and be like, oh, she threw herself on me and she forced my dick in her and she was just riding me and because it does not add up. You see how that doesn't add up?
you know why? It's just a slippery slope. Because, well, okay, let's say you sleep in a dorm room, and then not at a party. You sleep at a party.
Before you say this, let me say this. I feel like don't take this wrong, women. It's easier to rape a woman.
No, that's my point.
Because in order to rape a
that's where we're at.
man,
No, where we
my
at.
dick has to get
Dog,
hard.
you just took my.
My
so
bad,
what I was
man.
about.
Yeah,
No, that's fine.
I was going
because that's
there
where
too.
we're going. Because
Right.
if we talking our shit,
And I don't mean that in any
If-
derogatory way. Like,
if I'm
that
at
women
a-
deserve it.
if I'm
No.
upstairs and I'm at the party sleep,
Right.
right? I'm at the house sleep.
Or if I'm
and
drunk.
you having a party. You having a party. We
Or
having,
let's add the drunkenness to
No,
it.
I'm
Drunk
saying,
dick. You got
I'm
whiskey dick.
upstairs. No, I'm
Niggas
upstairs
sleep. Just
No,
slump.
I'm
Yeah.
upstairs. For whatever reason, I'm upstairs asleep. Fam, fuck it. True story. Nigga, like, since we talking about it, hold on.
We ain't gonna say no names because we don't know nobody get no criminal
Right.
charges or
My guy. So, like, no name said. True story, man. College days.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, I'm asleep. We had a little barbecue and shit, kind of like a little party. But I ain't have no main work at the party, right? So I had no action. Well, I mean, it's, and I ain't feel like shooting no shots. I'm going upstairs.
I'm going to bed.
I had a good night.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going upstairs.
I have a good night without
Right.
having somebody next
So
to
I'm
me.
going upstairs. I go to sleep,
Hey, you
man.
know what? To cut you off for 1 second, I'll let you back to. Hey, that's one of the most content nights.
Come on, bro.
When you see a house full of bitches
Come
and
on.
you're just like, man, I'm just going. I'm
out.
I'm happy to go to sleep by
I'm out.
myself tonight.
Fam. So I go upstairs. You know what I'm saying? It was downstairs cooling and shit. I go upstairs, get in my bed, lay down. I'm chilling. You know me. Then at the time, everybody around ain't do their thing. So I
No,
joined
I
the
really know
I joined
you.
the Matrix.
I know
real
you
quick.
to the fact of if you go to sleep alone, you expect to wake up.
Come
alone.
on, bro.
Like,
you know me.
Yeah.
So,
that's
like-
gonna make you uncomfortable if you don't. You're gonna
Fam.
be like, nigga.
Like even if it's somebody I like and I
Yeah,
entertain
you're
that,
gonna be like, bro.
I'm still gonna kind of bring it up like, yo, don't come. Like next
just
time,
do
hit
that.
me. Like you know what I'm saying? So, I'm glad you said that.
'Cause
For me.
I know
I'm glad you
you.
said that for me. So, bro, like I'm upstairs chilling, whatever, and you know niggas, bro, especially when you're young. Another group of girls come, and in fairness, they know like, oh, Akeem fuck with her, but then she down there talking me up like, oh, if when I see him, y'all better tell. And you know my niggas, you know how we all get down like,
Yeah,
well,
sure,
hey
man,
yo,
go get
well
him.
shit,
Yes, sir.
shorty, upstairs, first stairs to your left.
Yep.
For real? And then they start gassing her up. So nigga, after she starts drinking, you know what I'm saying, and they getting drunk. You know how niggas is now. They just gassing her up like, you ain't gonna go up there and go put on them niggas. You ain't gonna go up there like, nigga, and he like you too. All over. Next thing I know, bro, like I dealt with a situation that happened as a grown ups, but nigga, flip the reverse.
Assault.
Flip that.
Oh, you're going to prison.
Flip that, bro.
You're going to prison.
Flip that.
That night, we're going to jail.
Flip that whole scenario.
Not only are you going
we
to
go
jail,
to a female's house. We're kicking it.
We're all going to jail.
And one of her friends was just like, you know, she likes you. She thinks you're hella cute. And now y'all get me drunk and then keep egging me on like, man, go up there and give it to her. And then I go upstairs, nigga, and like she's sleeping her drawers and I wake her up to it. Like, that's rapey as fuck.
Dog, and everybody in the house is going to jail.
And everybody agrees that's rapey as fuck.
That's the crazy thing about that. You all encourage that. You're all going to jail. Not just a nigga who did it. Every dude who was in there, every female said go get her.
Dre, I got a question.
What?
And pause. When is the world going to say, hey, we got to stop this fucking...
Double standard.
No, this rape of males in prisons. Like, do you know there's an epidemic of men getting raped in prisons?
By COs?
By anybody. And people accept that as prison culture.
Yeah, it shouldn't be accepted at all.
Fam, I've seen them dismantle prisons because of, you know, women was getting raped by guards in there. Like, and it become a story and the news and nightlines there. And nigga, that's just like, remember the nigga Fleece Johnson?
Yeah.
He became famous off that. Mm-hmm. Nigga, you're famous for fucking raping, being a serial rapist of men in prison. And you know what the remedy to that is, though? What? Don't go to jail. You better stay out of trouble, boy. What about the niggas that weren't supposed to be there that just ended up in jail anyways? Because, nigga, they got black skin. Or they got an accent.
Yep.
Or they was white and at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Or an accessory to something because they happened to get into a car after the niggas did a whole robbery and shit and didn't tell you about it. Now you're an accessory because you got in the car in the same night.
Free my boy Ryan.
And you never did anything.
Free my boy Ryan. Nigga graduated from Colorado State. Was working as a bank.
Dumb shit.
As a banker, gets picked up by some guys he know. Or actually, he gives some guys he know some friends he know from the neighborhood a ride home. A ride home. He see them walking and Frank's like, what y'all trying to? Oh man, we missed our bus. I got y'all hella far. And the other boy then got caught. The other dude that went the other way got caught and told on everybody. So they pretty much waiting for them around the neighborhood, and they see him come pulling up with them in the car.
Now you look at the getaway driver.
You got life.
You're the getaway driver now.
Got life.
They don't look at it any other way.
Got life, man. Do what you got to do, Governor Newsom. You got my letter.
Mr. Gavin Newsom.
Shit.
Nah, this sexual assault shit, hey, I don't condone it, but it is becoming a slippery slope on what we consider sexual assault and what we're considering consensual.
Well, fam, this is the thing, though.
Until somebody feels like they were slighted.
But the reason why it's a slippery slope is because we're allowing this shit to be refurbished from 30 years ago or 10, 20 years ago. If a nigga touched your titty and you didn't like it, I need you all ladies right now. Look, this is not the times of where women are like, it's uber oppressed and are just outrightly over-sexualized. Now, we do live in a culture that sexualizes women, but it's not like women are. First off, black women was just named the most educated people in America. There's powerful women. All I'm saying is I need all my sisters in the world. All
the
women that hear
VP's
my
a
voice,
woman.
All that hear that, yeah. I need all the future Kamalas.
Woman of color at that.
I need all you women to know that. You know what I'm saying? Akeem, love you. I support you. If somebody does something to you that makes you feel uncomfortable,
say something.
Let's speak up on it now, so that way we can all address these things.
Yeah, don't say something.
And it could be a teachable moment, because I want to tell women this: a lot of men don't know how to deal with women, and it's not something that's taught. It's not something that's taught. Yeah. Unfortunately, to a lot of young men. So if we have these conversations, they can become teachable moments. Like, bro, relax. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like the guideline of sexual assault being an unwanted or unlawful touch is too broad. Because if you don't like me and I brush up against you, that is an unwanted, unlawful touch. Exactly. Now I have sexually assaulted you by no fault of my own.
And you might not even take it. They might not have taken it as sexual assault until someone else has accused you of that, and then they go back and think and be like, you know what? Akeem touched my titty too. Yep. Put me on there. Exactly. Janice Dickinson has came out and admitted that she lied about her interaction with Bill Cosby, and they used her testimony as part of what they used to convict him. So I wasn't there in the 70s, nigga. I wasn't there when he allegedly did all these things. I don't know.
Everybody was doing Quaaludes in the 70s.
I know that though. I know that if you go back to the time where I was going to EDC all the time, and I was partying and shit like that, and I was doing lucid drugs with females and having wild, kinky, you know what I'm saying, rock star things going on. Ending
up fucking in Reno.
Hey man,
on fluke-ass trips.
Right. Nigga,
wake
up in another city and shit. Like, yo, how'd I get here? Like in that time frame. Now look, I'm not a rapist. I don't condone that shit. Nothing.
Could have been raped somebody could have raped you.
Right.
The whole weekend.
Right. But what I'm saying is like, nigga, if you go back to that time and you're able to say, you know what, that was a bad time in my life, and I wouldn't have normally done all those wild things with Akeem and those other guys and this other stuff, but if it wasn't for like me being addicted to drugs and stuff like that.
Right. Take responsibility for some things too.
But if you are able to contract that in your mind and be like, oh, you know what, it's his fault.
Yep.
I just want people to know
the story,
that is happening sometimes.
Everybody needs to take responsibilities for the actions in their life. If you made a stupid ass decision when you were young, live with it. We all did. We all have bodies that we wish we could write off. Trust me.
Fam, it goes back to the T.I. It goes back to the T.I. and Tiny situation where I said, like, a lot of women, first off, we would have to admit that it's abnormal for a man and wife to be, you know, acute. We haven't seen that. I'm not saying it's abnormal. Maybe it happens and it's just not mainstream. We haven't seen that. Normally when the celebrity man has an issue with all the rampant women, he usually keeps his wife out of the loop.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they're both being accused of all these things, and we talked about that before, about how this stuff can all come about. I don't want to rehash that. All I'm saying is that look how simple it is. Mm-hmm. Look how easy it is for this to be considered something so demonstrative. Like, here you are, nigga, with your old lady, y'all a little freaky, and y'all like to party, so everywhere y'all go around the country, y'all partying and doing a little freaky shit. And then one female is saying that, like, well, and it turns out that she may or may not have been underage by like a year.
Right.
Right? So now, and I was talking about that. I'm like, bro, after being around certain celebrities in social settings, I see how they can get caught up in these things. Because a lot of niggas that's on, they don't just take one girl that they've had a conversation with and got a liking to back to the hotel room for the after party like a normal nigga does.
Right.
They be like, yo, we about to go back to my room or to the crib and turn up.
Yeah.
Y'all want to come? And like, yeah, nigga, it'd be like 13 strippers that just left the club and went.
Right.
Did you ID all them?
But yeah,
but hold on.
But it's responsibility
You're
on both sides.
You're in a 21 and older environment.
Right.
You might be feeling like, nigga, I'm not where the grown folks play at. That's why I come here, so I don't got to worry about that.
But like I said, it was like we're saying, it's accountability on both sides because you have to make the choice. Like, I'm underage, I don't need to go. I don't have to go to this party.
You know what I really want to know?
What?
Out of all these women that's accusing T.I. and Tiny, I want to know where they met all of them. Right. Because the shit that alarmed me about the R. Kelly shit is when you start hearing about his principal, who he self-proclaimed as like a motherly figure. Yeah. Say that when he was in his 20s, like still I think early 20s, but still in his 20s, that she's the first person to tell him, like, yo, you know, the people talking about you, like, you're past that age of picking up girls in high school.
Right. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about this. I'm an 80s baby. Fam, I remember all through school growing up, like, especially until I got to Reno. I remember it was a thing that, like, especially in a big city, bro, I remember it was a thing that, like, high school girls always got in a car, nigga, a dope-ass car from a nigga that was older and drove off after school. The pretty girl at school never fucked with all the high school niggas. She always fucked with a nigga at the college or some nigga that was just looked grown and nigga, like, you know what I mean? Like, so that kind of shit became normalized. Mm-hmm. And in that era, that was kind of normal for a high school girl to be dating a guy in his 20s.
Right.
And I'm not condoning it or saying it's good or bad.
Well, okay, so
I don't want to sound like I'm
hold
excusing
on. Let's
it.
take it further than that. Let's look back to like the 20s and 30s. It wasn't taboo for somebody to be 20 years old and have a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old wife and girlfriend.
You remember when me, you, and Chuck looked up the age?
Yeah.
In all the places. And it sounded like basically everything sounded pedophilic. It's like, damn, you only got to be 14 to consent to sex here? Damn, you only got to be 16 to consent to sex here?
Yep.
Like, why? Why so young? And all I'm saying is that in the R. Kelly situation, what alarmed me is hearing people that were pretty much on his side, that fucked with him, admit and say that, like, yeah, there was definitely a time and a thing where, like, he was older and still kind of had a lot of adolescent tendencies. Like, he still hung out with young, not only just young girls, young guys.
Right.
He didn't kick it in grown-up circles right when he was grown. He wasn't maturing that way. I'm not excusing none of his behaviors.
No, we're just...
But what I'm talking about is when I look at his accusations, it's touchy-feely. It's like, okay, this could be a wash, but that shit right there seems a little like it needs to be ironed out. With the T.I. and Tiny situation, if all these women were met at nightclubs and strip clubs, hey fam, I'm feeling a little different about this situation. But
how many females do we know that were sneaking in the club with fake IDs and all types of shit?
Right, but I'm figuring this out too though. I'm like, but if you could tell me like if a good percentage of those women was just like, oh, I met him at a birthday party.
Yep.
Oh, I met him at the mall, a place where children loiter.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm a little now I'm on to you a little different. I'm looking a little different.
Right.
But unfortunately, this is what happens. That's why it's important to keep young women out of adult areas
out on,
or the internet or something. Yeah. Now I'm like,
now you're predatorial.
It's a little predatorial, my guy. Yep. You know, and that's all I'm saying about that. Like, I didn't want to bring up R. Kelly and sound like I was defending him, but
slippery slope
with Harvey Weinstein. Mm-hmm. All of his victims, it's a MO, bro.
Yeah, he had.
It was a business meeting that you set up. It was it was a premiere trip for a movie that you put them in, and you raped them that night at the hotel when you knew they were gonna. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's all convenient into like where you work and loiter at. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, with the R. Kelly shit, I got a lot of questions, bro. I'm like, well, how does a man go into a studio with all these young people?
What is his mental health like? What is his mental status?
It's fucked up.
Let's really give him an evaluation and see where he's at. Because if we're talking about somebody he's in his 50s now, who still has the mind of a 30-something-year-old man, that means he's never been mature, and he's just maturing now.
Right. And
well, you know how they handle mental health in America.
Right.
They don't.
And lack of maturity isn't an excuse for abuse or any criminal activities. Like, we're not saying that. But what we're saying is in the R. Kelly case where there's it's the same type of thing. There's across state lines. They can say, based on the accusations, I wouldn't be surprised if they came down on human sex trafficking charges. Because people don't understand the umbrella terms of some of these charges.
Once you take somebody over state lines, you're a sex trafficker.
Right. Especially if they're underage. Now, this is the fucked up thing about it. I'm not too naive and too sickened or cynical. Bro, I understand that, like, sometimes motherfuckers come from a certain culture, and it's like, okay, we all kicking it. Right? We all about to go back here and keep kicking it.
Right.
And then everybody come, right? You might mess around and you and Tiny can go have a threesome with a grown-ass woman. But there was a 17-year-old amongst those group of girls, and she had sex with somebody else.
Yep.
Or she didn't have sex. It's still a crime, her being there.
Exactly.
And if she's able to say, I was around there, I was there, she don't have to have been sexualized in any way.
Nope.
Her being there. And that's where we got to understand. It's like, I always thought that was weird. I'm like, nigga, so you telling me that y'all cool with an 18-year-old in high school, dating a fucking freshman in high school, but when that 18-year-old goes to college, he's weird because he's dating a sophomore?
Yep.
And I always kind of stayed clear of that. I always paid attention to that. Like, nah. And I ain't going to, and it's a couple shorties that are like, nah, you just a little too young.
Hold on. But in reverse, it's okay. if the boy's in fucking a boy could be a freshman in high school, his chick's a college girl, you the nigga, you the man.
Yeah, but that's true.
And there ain't no rape or anything involved.
There will be
it's
some
still statutory rape.
And there will be some
you know
women. There'll be some women, and maybe a speck of men that if they came across that situation, would probably have something to say about it.
Right.
But what they wouldn't do is feel obligated to call the police.
Exactly.
And be like, oh fuck it, because there's people that will see a freshman in college on a football team or something, basketball team, coming up to the high school, picking up his girlfriend, walking her out, holding her hand, and she a sophomore, and it'll be motherfuckers that I feel like they're obligated to call the law.
Yep.
And report this. Like, this is an atrocity. So it's something that we gotta continue to talk about. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm so ingrained in things this way that even though I'm talking about it as it needs to be different, or it needs to be like, there needs to be more duality to this, I don't really care. Like, I'm guilty of this shit too. Like, if you came to me and was like, bro, shout out to my boy Tyler. I ain't gonna tell your business, Tyler, and because I said your name, I ain't even gonna tell the story.
Nigga name.
Yeah, I fucked up, but I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because he held it down. You know what I'm saying? All these niggas getting to do what they do and telling. Like, I'm from the era where it's just like, bro, why would you tell on her? And she's a grown. She didn't physically make you have to do that with her. But it goes back to that aura. Remember when I was saying, like, bro, you don't think that a person like Beyonce or Rihanna could take a young boy and manipulate them and make them do type of things that they don't want to do or wouldn't normally do?
In a heartbeat.
That could damage them.
In a heartbeat.
And people don't look at that because this society, we still have a hard time saying the word male groupie. And when we say that, we're usually referring to a man that has an affectionate, like, heart towards another man.
Yep.
Like, oh, Akeem, nigga, get off Hove dick. Pause, nigga. You a male groupie.
That shit used to be. That shit. That's
right?
why I had to stop saying that to you because that shit.
Right. But you get what I'm saying,
yeah.
though. Right. Like, nigga, but it's just, it's real, though. And so you be like, okay, well, I get it. But the other way around, you know, and it's something that we got to talk about. Like, it goes back to they was having a conversation. I was hearing a conversation, and it was along the lines of gender roles. And it was saying, so like for every woman that wants to be a boss,
there's a bunch that want to be taken care of and be a housewife.
What happens is that's the duality of it. That's the opposite, right? But we're in a place where it's something else that's happened. There's a sector of women that want a man to be a boss. Birkin me.
Yep.
Then there's a sector of women that same woman, she wants to be a boss, right? I'm a boss.
Birkin myself.
I'm a boss. But there's the boss woman that will Birkin, that lives by the credo, I'm a Birkin myself. I'm a red bottom myself. But we haven't induced a level of thinking in society to where she can go to a point of, I'm a red bottom myself. And because I'm a boss and I'm taking that role, I'm a red bottom my family.
Right.
What happens is I'm a boss, I'm a red bottom myself. I can only fuck with a nigga that can red bottom me.
Yeah, that's
like,
real.
I heard a millionaire say, on the Joe Budden podcast, I heard a millionaire say, yeah, the crazy thing about dating, because he's single with no children, he's like, man, crazy thing about me with dating is that I don't mind a woman that makes $40,000 a year because I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
He said, but I do have a problem with the woman that thinks because she makes good money, she can only date a person like me. You know what I'm saying? And he was speaking to that. Like, wait, what about, well, hold on, fam.
Why are you entitled all
What
of a
if
sudden?
every man in today's world was like, well, shit, what if Kevin Durant and them thought like that? What
Yeah.
if LeBron thought like that? Like, what do you mean? That means that you would only be able to date, like, who, Rihanna and Beyonce?
Yeah, only other celebrity
Like,
entertainers.
what if men really carried that on? Like, oh, well, shit, I met Shorty at the grocery store, but because I make $30 million from the Knicks, nigga, I can't date her. She can't understand me. Like, you know what I mean? What I gotta pay for her dress when she come hang out with me and Chris Paul and them. I gotta pay for her to, yeah, nigga, because you make $30 million a year.
That's what you sign. That's kind of what you sign up for when you're dating somebody. But
and think about it.
We
if you
don't-
make $100K a year and you're
Right.
saying that I could only fuck with somebody that makes $100K a year or up, Why would you limit yourself to those things?
Exactly.
Your 100K year could be the difference in the person that your soulmate is making $1 million.
Yeah.
Because that nigga got $1 million talent, and you're making a legit 100K.
Yeah.
You can invest 20,000 in his $1 million talent, and now y'all up.
Up. But they don't see it like that.
We don't see it like that as a people. Like, there's a few of us that see it like that, but you know, because the male side of that, and we'll get out of here soon. The male side of that is that a lot of people that's young dudes, these young niggas out here is getting these bags. Mm-hmm. Now, because you get in a bag, you're just gonna objectify all women.
That's real.
Like, now you got a bag, and instead of going to like that chick that you used to see that work at the bank, that's bad as fuck, but you felt like she was out of your league because she drove a Benz and was going to college. Instead of you going back with your new bag and entertaining her, now you got the bag and you like, nigga, fuck it, I'm out here, nigga, I'm Rockstar Willie.
Well, let me be devil's advocate, and women are gonna hate me right now.
It's all right. You gotta. Well, what do you think?
A lot of these quote unquote bad bitches either have OnlyFans, private Snapchats, or popping Instagrams. So they've already objectified themselves for the main part. The rapper or star or millionaire young bull with the bag,
right?
Of course he's objectifying you. Usually he's finding you
while you're objectifying
on fucking
yourself.
Instagram where you're objectifying yourself. That bad bitch at the bank, I would say 6 times out of 10 has an Instagram or something in a thong or some type of lingerie or something like that. Am I wrong?
Damn, that's a deep point.
Am I wrong?
I can't say you wrong.
So of course that young bull isn't gonna put his time, money, and effort into you. You have already objectified yourself, and you put it all out there already.
Miscues are being fired off,
right?
Because now the girl that, so I'm little. I don't like using names, but I'm little baby or somebody. I'm young and I'm popping. I was a hood nigga, to whereas there's certain caliber of women that I knew that I can rock with,
right?
But it had to be the right opportunity,
right?
Well, now I can just shoot my shot, and you're right. That chick, a lot of times, we ain't gonna say all the times, like that's why you said, but majority of the times, that chick that is going to school, that chick that is kind of not even as materialistic as her Instagram and shit might perceive her to be. Mm-hmm. She's beautiful, and you right, because you go in there and you looking at her, you know how men think, right. Like damn, she wifey type,
right?
And then now you pop through and you see her Instagram and you see that she got 100-some thousand followers,
right?
And every picture she is looking scrumptious, nigga, right. And sexualized,
right?
It is hard to blur those lines when how she different from the bitch at Starlets.
Exactly.
So now I'm treating her a little bit like the chick at Starlets and I'll treat them the same, not realizing that like, yeah, maybe I should just chop it up with you and just tell you like, baby, you don't even need to do all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at you. You can do what you want.
So I feel like
a lot of times if you do go with that girl, a lot of that stuff will cut out. But
do you know what I feel like? Do you know what I feel like? I don't feel like men. I feel like men no longer over sexualize women. I feel like women have taken that role for themselves.
Damn, hold on, my G, nigga, you just got deep. We was about to get up out. You just got, hold on, my nigga.
No, we don't gotta leave yet. I said that for a reason.
You just said some. I'm about to roll this up. Yeah, man, you just said some real.
I don't feel like us as men over sexualize women anymore. I feel like they do it to themselves. Cause think about it. Fashion Over Clothes is a clothing brand owned by who? Women. And they have some of the most show your body off clothing. A lot of these women clothing lines, how they feel like their clothes are hypersexualized, a lot of your clothing lines are made by women. A lot of these women are out here making clothes now. And a lot of you are supporting that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Support your sisters and shit out there. That's what you're supposed to do.
Damn.
But I feel like women have taken over the.
Well, you're right, because men ain't making y'all do twerk videos.
No.
And I enjoy some of them.
We don't make you do OnlyFans.
Men don't make up those challenges.
We don't make you sell any type of pictures, foot fetish videos, have sex with men on camera. We don't make you do any of that. You guys have learned that pussy is power, very much so. Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and deny you that. Your pussy is very powerful.
It's powerful.
It is $1 billion money making thing.
Yeah, right.
As an infinite money maker
it's
have.
It's recession proof.
It is. And I'm not trying to say that you are a piece of meat. You're not. What I'm telling you is you guys have figured it out, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. But you guys have to stop saying that us as men are hypersexualizing you. You guys have taken the reins on that yourself.
You might be right about that if you look at it the way you explain it, fam. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, get your bag. I'm not mad at OnlyFans or anything like that. Get your motherfucking bag. But stop blaming it on us now. You're doing it to yourself. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You guys are getting paid for it. Get paid for it.
Yeah, I don't think about the OnlyFans, bro. I'm like, y'all gotta like.
I mean, fuck OnlyFans. Let's take that out of it. Just getting famous as a twerker on Instagram or TikTok or something. You know what I'm saying? Let's take having sex or anything. You're not showing pussy or nothing, but you may be in a thong. Look at the silhouette challenge. We didn't get to see you naked, but we know what you look like without clothes on.
If you go to Pornhub, you do.
You know what I'm saying? You guys have over sexualized yourself, and you have yourself to blame now. It's not our faults anymore.
Well, okay, I get we're probably not the like leading force in it anymore, but it's like saying it's almost like that argument when other people will be like, oh well, I didn't own slaves, it's not our fault anymore. Right? Like it is still.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
But like, I get what you're saying.
We have a big. We set the foundation for that.
You're
still building
to
the
another
house.
level. Okay, yeah. Okay.
You're now adding the new level to the
Y'all
house.
Y'all re-renovated the shit. Like,
you're adding new
rooms. And
it
got out of hand now.
Yeah, you're adding new rooms and floors and staircases.
Yeah, Rose, because you're right. Because, hey, man, I don't care what nobody say. Instagram got me fucked up, man. I don't follow all those yamps.
They follow you.
They just be sending me chicks, nigga. Like, and most of
and then
is invites to some girl I never heard of, OnlyFans
or Snapchat.
Or it'd be like, you want to see my pussy video?
Right. And here's the other thing. It's not just women who have over-sexualized themselves. You also need to start pointing the finger at social media.
Yeah.
Social media allowed you women to over-sexualize yourself. And now that you feel like it's getting out of hand, you want to point the finger at somebody. And it seems like I don't want to attack women, but it seems like women have a very hard time taking responsibility for their side of anything when it comes to the sexualization and sexual debate of anything. It's always what somebody's done to them or what's happened to them or what's this to them. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times I notice that like women, when dealing with that issue, they'll negate those qualities in other women while defending them.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I'm a man that I don't believe that. I mean, if you're not selling your body for money, you're not a whore to me.
No, you're not.
And we do live in
that's the exact definition of a
body
whore.
Count and shit like that is kind of.
But no, what's the exact definition of a whore and a prostitute? Somebody that sells their body for money, that does sexual favors for money. So if you're not getting paid, you are not a whore.
I said that is because we do live in a world where men, a lot of times, because a woman takes sexy pictures. Hold on. Because a woman takes sexy pictures all day on Instagram, there are men that will treat her a certain way. Like,
those men are cornballs.
I get it. I fuck with you. I agree.
A woman's body count don't mean shit as long as she ain't get paid for it. If I'm allowed to have 100 bodies under my lifetime in my 33 years, and I don't know if I'm there yet, who's to fucking say that the woman that I'm with isn't allowed to have had sex with that many people? Right. Why what makes me so fucking holy and high and mighty that I'm allowed to do that? Just because I'm a man and I have a dick that swings.
You know my motto. Mind your business.
Right. Exactly.
My nigga, I don't.
So I would say, as we wrap this up, I would just say, everybody needs to be held responsible and accountable for the things that they do or the things that their people or gender does to them.
Correct. I also feel like patience. We need so they say cancel culture is toxic, but
I
guess
feel like cancel culture is still needed, though.
to an extent, but it can be toxic.
No, it can.
We need to start saying the same thing about.
Is there such thing as necessary toxicity, though?
Yeah, I would agree on that. But in this instance, what about the it's like, was it gang? It's like gang up culture. It's like,
Yeah,
it's like,
I
it's
feel.
like, you know what I'm saying?
I
It's
feel
like
where you're
mob
going.
culture now. It's
Yep.
like, well, oh, one person now can't publicly have an issue with another person without the world picking sides now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's because, well, that's the thing, is that's what social media is done for. It is
Right.
everybody's in everybody's business. Because think about it, when we were kids, me and you had a problem. The only way somebody knew about me and you had a problem if somebody
Well,
was there,
so-
or if we were
yeah.
telling people about it, word of
and that
mouth.
was looked down upon. Like, I'm
Exactly,
talking about niggas handle
exactly.
it or not. Because think about
Social media made it
think about
okay to
50,
be a
dog.
tattletale, nigga.
Think about the nigga Fifth. Fifth be in everybody's business. Nigga.
Every-
Niggas be going through some personal shit. Fifth is gonna chime in talking shit.
And that type of
is
shit,
funny.
that type of shit back in the '90s would have got you shot in the face.
And
That's all.
And Fifth knows that.
Because that's all word of mouth shit. There ain't no
Yeah.
computer you get to hide behind. Like, nigga, if you're out telling a nigga business, you gonna have to see that man if y'all live near each other, nigga.
And now it's accepted to the point where, like, even niggas that ain't scared of Fifth, that would step to him,
Right.
now he can legitimately look at them niggas like, bro, I was just playing on the internet, man. Like, I wasn't, you taking that shit on serious.
Right.
And some people will look at that motherfucker like, oh, he's all in his feelings, nigga. Like, you know, nigga Fifth was just joking. That trolling, that word troll is toxic.
Yeah.
Nigga, they just created a word, nigga, that like
Trolling.
that causes hella niggas that got niggas killed and all type of shit, locked up. Oh, he was trolling, man. I was trolling. I seen this motherfucker try to do a fake robbery at the store. His white dude for his YouTube channel.
Got stabbed, didn't he?
Now he got shot.
Oh shit.
Got his ass murked. And before he died, he was just like, I was just trolling you. But you done ran up on some kids in the projects, nigga, that like literally have that gun on them for that reason. Because they have to, because this is what this government that gave them is a fucking neighborhood that ain't safe, even though we go around the country using our taxpayers' dollars to make
Other
safer
countries
neighborhoods.
safe.
But whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? They talk about the cartel and shit, what it's doing to the migrants. Hey, bro, let me take you to gangland, nigga. It's some gangs doing some fucked up shit to some black and Hispanic people right here, too.
Right.
But either way it goes, man, I digress. We about to have this nightcap, man.
Well, it's been another good episode. I'm glad that I fucking woke up at some point, because goddamn, beginning there is kind of rough.
Yeah, man, late night vibes.
That's another episode of the Always Talking Shit Show in the books. I am one of your hosts, Talkin.
It's your man's Akeem Sincere, and we out of here, man.
And like always, fuck how you feel.
New Always Talking Shit Show.